Hello.
Hello, we're here.
Welcome back. Either this is the same very long video you were just watching, or this is a new video, but either way,
I am in pain. That's all that matters.
Ben here has moved house, injured himself like multiple times.
3 times, though one of them was like multiple injuries.
Well, so, but then there are the emotional injuries in the middle as well.
There were emotional injuries to do with the moving of the house. But I'm currently suffering from a twisted ankle.
Across the city.
A twisted left ankle, a fractured right ball of my foot, a massive, like, shredded, grazed right knee. I lost my voice.
I had surgery too. It's been that long.
Voice. Yeah, you had surgery. We're all in pain right now. But I feel like that's the perfect mindset to go with Higurashi for. For this awful tragic ending that we're about to experience. Who knows what could happen, Felix? You'll be surprised by this ending. It'll subvert your expectations in crazy ways, because that's what Ryukishi does, right?
I was talking with one of the anesthetists before I went under. Anesthetists, rather. Before I went under for surgery. And, like, I made a joke, because you know, they need to make sure when you go into the surgery room, when you go on the table, that you consent and are the right person.
Oh yeah. You don't joke around with that.
Because there was a thing. There was a thing earlier this year with a hospital here in Sydney where someone showed up, and like every time you know they run you through the questions. Have you been to this place? Have you eaten this? Have you done that? Just to make sure that everything's checked off the list. And they got through those questions about 4 times, which is just slightly fewer than they normally get.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And on the 4th time through, the person said, "Yes, I have been exposed to COVID-19." And they're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
No.
And had to shut down and clean the hospital.
No. I hate that so much.
It's like, this is why we keep asking.
Yeah, this is why we hammer this, because we are dealing with science and medical equipment, and there are lots of patients, and we need to make sure everyone's safe.
But I was talking to one of the anesthetists, and I was like, so what does happen when someone gets like all the way up to the operating room and then says the name wrong? Do you just like tie him up, drag him out back into the secret underground bunker? And I was like, oh fuck, did I just make a Higurashi joke in public?
You totally did. You totally did.
Did I just do that?
You totally did, and you got away with it too.
I need to
detox. Let me just put this bag on the floor. It does not need to be on the table. I don't know why it's there.
There's a nice big armrest.
It is a good armrest, but I could also just put my arm on the table, and then my arm is like in the right position to speak into the mic, so it makes sense. And the point is, surgery, pain. I have been pretty well rested, though, I'm not going to lie, because I've been staying at home as much as humanly possible to rest up, so I'm at full energy. We also have a candle. I insisted. We literally were like, we're going to start at 2 p.m. And then I was like, but what about the candle, though? And so Felix had to go get the candle or the lighter and stuff.
Anyhow, we should get back into this.
I guess we should.
The middle of this action scene that we left
It's
during.
true. Well, come on now. We left at a pretty good point. We've just had the siege on the Sonozaki mansion. We're splitting up into the A and B plot. I mean, the A and B teams. Red group, blue group, everybody this way, I believe, is the line. And we're going to keep going.
Yes.
That's a deep reference. If anybody gets that, please let me know in the comments. The Mountain Dogs had retreated and reorganized their units. What happens to Okanogi? Is he still in this?
He's humiliated.
True,
he'll never show up again.
He'll never show his face
he's gonna
again.
come in. He's gonna come in with like a fucking tank later in the story. He's gonna be like, I've had it with you.
He's gonna bomb
you like stupid little village.
He's got a fucking plane. He's gonna bomb the entire mountain. All right, they were now ready to attack again. Takano was very mad at them.
That's right.
For not being able to bring R back to the clinic, even though they had her in their hands. She gave an order to capture her with all the Mountain Dogs' forces put together. It's time for the big run-up. Their vehicles were at the clinic, and they were all standing by for the order to attack.
I mean, one of the things I did enjoy about this was the whole bit where Ryukishi was like, oh yeah, because there's like a bunch of spies and just logistics people here, they're not the perfect fighting force. I love that as a detail. That's so great.
They're not prepared for this, right? They were prepared for like a deep COVID operative mission in the deep villages of the mountains. You know, they weren't supposed to be dealing with a walking train, or a running train, I should say. Or like whatever Akasaka is, the like transforming Titan creature. He's crazy. Takano wasn't the only one who was furious. Okanogi was just as angry as her. That rookie policeman, speaking of which, that rookie policeman from 5 years ago had grown. Shocking. He even made Okanogi yield. He couldn't accept that he was defeated, so he was bent on revenge. Why are we getting this through, like, narration instead of just, like, having him shout, I want my revenge, and, like, you know, blowing his fists and yelling at the sky? Why don't we get that scene?
I don't know. His reality is too shattered to talk.
That's true. Well, he could only accept victory or tie, so...
That's right.
This doesn't feel like a tie to me. The reason why the order to attack was held off was because the signal from the transmission device on Irie was momentarily interrupted. They interpreted it to mean that Irie had gone even farther down into the basement, but was of course put on Rika. The Mountain Dogs assumed that the club members would go even further underground and try to escape by using some kind of secret passageway, which they do have. That passageway couldn't be that long. They'd have to come up to the surface eventually. Mountain Dogs were planning to catch them as soon as they surfaced. I'm sure that'll go well. Mm-hmm. The villagers were too busy with finishing setup for the stupid festival, so they had no idea what was going on. By this time, the Mountain Dogs had shut down the telephone network. They were afraid the club members would call the police. I just hope we get more Oishi, because last time we saw him, he was just like fighting that one guy that we hate over in the police station. He was having a great time. The only way into the town was being watched by the blockade unit, so the club members couldn't escape that way. R and her friends had to come up to the surface. They couldn't be thinking of staying underground until things settled down, but what if they did? Their lifeline, Tomitaki Flash, was in captivity. They couldn't be stupid enough to think of attacking the clinic to rescue him.
Pause for effect.
Yeah. More than likely, they would try to escape from the village on foot.
I'm glad there was a line break there.
Yeah, just for that little bit of dramatic effect. They would probably call the police to help them. The patrol unit had several cars driving around the village, their eyes peeled for the signal of the transmitter or those on the run. It was time to wait patiently. The battle had returned to the starting point and the balance of power was even again, if you say so. Scheduled report from Skylark 2, all clear. Okay. They can't stay quiet for that long. We have to be patient. They'll turn up. By the way, where's the princess?
I believe she's interrogating First Lieutenant Tomitaki.
Flash.
She's trying to talk him into joining our side.
Interrogating in quotation marks. Yes, I understand. At this point, that may be the only way to settle matters peacefully. Good thing we captured him alive. With the princess gone and no phone calls from Tokyo, I could finally enjoy this cool air-conditioned breeze.
Oishi kicks down door.
Oh, God. Did somebody say air conditioning?
Commander, there's a radio call from Tokyo. It's from Nomura-san, and it's for you, not for the Major.
Oh, shit. Good grief. The phone's no good, though. Use a radio, huh? Well, I wonder what the queen in Tokyo wants from me now. Okanogi of the Mountain Dogs here. Over. What does she want there? Will we never find out?
We will never find out.
We'll never find out. I'm sure that foreshadowing won't pay off at any point.
He's going to be offered a tank, and that's when he's going to...
Yes! Tank time! Okanogi's tank time.
That's right.
That sounds real. Tomitaki Flash was being held in a small meeting room. He was shoved under a desk. That's not a great place to keep you captive. He was restrained so tightly that he couldn't even turn around. Takano was sitting in a chair next to the table, staring at a whiteboard. It outlined the research plan that was to be shut down, but Takano wasn't really reading it. She was just staring. Neither of them said a thing. Silence filled the meeting room. Surely this is Takano.
It's almost 11 a.m. What a long day. I was woken up so early and it's not even noon yet.
Tomitaki Flash didn't reply.
Jiro-san, do you think you can help me?
Oh, what a loaded question.
I don't need the Mountain Dogs. I only want you. The Mountain Dogs can't comfort me. I finally realized that your insensitivity is the only thing that can. Jiro-san, you knew that, right? That's why you acted that way, right? You thought there was no use in trying to sympathize, and you tried to comfort me. That's what you thought, right? You only pretended to be insensitive, to help me enjoy myself, didn't you? I'm not speaking to you as Major Takano. I'm speaking to you as Mio Takano. You still won't talk to me.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me get the voice in. A hostage may only give his name, rank, and identification number. Takano hung her head.
I don't have the key to those handcuffs. Sorry.
That's fine. I didn't ask you to remove them.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
No thanks. I don't want you to have to help me go to the bathroom in this position. It was hardly a conversation, but Takano was happy that Tomotaki Flash had finally replied. However, that wouldn't solve any of their problems. If you must kill me, I'm all right with that. I made my peace when I was caught.
Yeah, I was planning to kill you tonight. I'm glad you're prepared for that.
Good. Then my resolve won't go to waste.
Hey, don't you want to live? If you promise to join me, you won't have to die. My superiors say there's no point in keeping you alive, but I'll work something out.
Who are your superiors?
I don't know. The person who contacts me calls herself Nomura, but I'm not sure that's her real name. I really don't know.
But you must have talked to her before you decided to do this, right?
I only talked to her a few times. When I think back, she probably just wanted to use me, but at the time, I thought she was the only person who could understand me.
I understand. I knew there was a time when you needed someone to help you. I wish I could have been there for you.
Yeah. If you were there, it would have been so nice.
Nobody has died yet. Today.
Today.
Today. In brackets, today.
But I'm going to kill them.
You have your masterminds, but there are other masterminds in Tokyo who oppose them. Most of them just want to hush up this issue. You may think it's too late to do anything about it, but you're wrong. There is still something that you can do. You can make this whole thing disappear.
And my grandfather's research on the syndrome will disappear too, won't it?
Takano-san, what do you want to happen? Takano closed her eyes for a bit while she came up with an answer. Her grandfather's research had been insulted. She wanted those with higher positions of authority to take it seriously. Nomura could make that happen. When the final operation was enacted, the higher-ups of the country would have to read the article and they would have to believe what's in it. They will authorize the execution of the emergency manual. And yes, that would create an irreversible disaster, but at the same time, the disaster would prove that her grandfather's article had merit. Will you be satisfied with that?
Sure. I'll be satisfied. That is the purpose of my life.
I asked you before. You're going to disappear after this operation, aren't you? Mio Takano's purpose will be fulfilled and she will vanish from the face of the earth. You'll return to being Miyoko Tanashi. That's your real name, isn't it? How long had it been since she heard that name? Takano closed her eyes slightly.
Yes, that's right. Soon enough, I'll return to being Miyoko Tanashi.
Tanashi Miyoko lost her parents and was sent to an orphanage as a little girl. She died after being tortured. That's what you said, right?
Yes, I did. I'll have to go back inside of that metal fence. Have you experienced something like that, Jiro-san?
Takano told Tomotaki Flash about her horrible experiences, which is simply unimaginable for normal people.
I'm going to return to that place. And this time, Grandfather won't come help me. So I will die. If I was dead, I wouldn't exist here. If I wasn't here, then there wouldn't be an Irie Institute. I wouldn't be stuck living out such a bizarre fate.
You're planning to die, aren't you?
I'm supposed to be rewarded after the operation, but I don't believe that. I might be suddenly killed one day.
Don't you have someone who you can trust?
My clients are just clients. They're not my allies. The mountain dogs are. I paid them more than enough.
But you can't truly trust them, can you?
You can always trust the dishonest man to be dishonest or something like that.
Please no. Why would you ruin this scene with such a terrible, trite line? That's all right. In the context of the movie it's in, it actually makes a lot of sense, so it's good.
They are my allies. They caught you and they're trying to catch R and her friends as we speak. They're helping me.
But that's not the kind of ally you need right now.
You're right. They aren't the kind of ally I need right now.
Takano paused. She paused because Tomotaki Flash had said exactly what she had been thinking. Since the day Tomotaki Flash disappeared, she had been feeling restless. Takano had to admit that she needed Tomotaki Flash.
Jiro-san, I paid the mountain dogs a few 100 million yen to be on my side. I have a little more than 100 million yen left. How much do I need to pay you?
Nothing. Say it. You should think about how much it really costs to get what you truly want.
It's a rather pretentious thing to say in this situation. You want me to say it's something I can't buy with money, right?
Why don't you give up? You may be able to tame the mountain dogs with your money, but that won't work with me.
But I want you on my side. If you want, I'll give you everything. Not just money. You can do whatever you want to do with me. Want me to lick your shoes, I will. Isn't that enough?
Tomotaki Flash didn't reply. It wasn't affirmation by silence, but a signal to Takano that he had already told her everything he meant to say, and the most saddening form of silence for her.
I'll make you breakfast every morning. I'll show up before you when we meet. I'll never make you wait just to test you. Isn't that enough, Jiro-san?
Tomotaki Flash didn't say a word. He couldn't see her face under the desk, but he could sense it. This wasn't the time to say anything to her. Remaining silent was the only thing he could do. Suddenly, the phone rang. Takano sniffled once and picked it up.
This is Takano. I see. Understood. I'll be right there.
Takano stood up as she put down the phone.
The mountain dogs found R. They found Irie's signal too. They must already know the roads are closed and are trying to escape through the mountains on foot. It won't be easy to hunt them there, but we're actually at an advantage since there's nobody else around. See you, Jiro-san. I think this will be our final conversation. I wish I could have heard you say something at the end of it all.
And still, Tomotaki Flash stayed silent. Takano ran out of the room. She didn't look like she was hurrying back to work. I kind of meant to talk about this at the end of the playthrough, but obviously what Takano's talking about there, that like she's paying the mountain dogs so that they're loyal to her.
Yeah.
And like what's going to happen to her after this is all over? This is to me, because this isn't as explicitly explored in the anime, but the final sort of mystery to me is what happens to Takano in the other timelines, because there's a lot of details you can sort of determine by the flashes forward and context clues, like the fact that the Hinamizawa disaster doesn't happen when Shion kills Rika. Like that's one of the big mysteries that you can figure out as you go.
Yeah.
But one of the other mysteries is because in all the flashes forward, there's all these like governmental conspiracies and like well, Keiichi survived and and what happens, you know, after all this is over. But Takano doesn't get mentioned except as the person who died. And to me, just personally, I really like this because obviously Ryukishi can't, like, if he were to talk about Takano's, like, everything, like her, like the theory, her grandfather's theory being proven right and everything going well for her after each of those arcs ended, it would give the game away.
Yeah.
So he's found this position where he can still keep her, like, her arc and her character, you know, story internally consistent while not giving the game away because she gets thrown under the bus, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what happens to her.
I mean, when you look at, is it the end of Arc 5 when they have the flash forward to Keiichi as like a crazed old guy predicting the future.
I thought that was Arc 3, but maybe, I don't know. I mean,
either way, whichever one of it.
Yeah, Arc 3, yeah.
Whichever one it is, like, I like that simultaneously in... I think it is Arc 3.
Yeah, it is Arc 3, because he gets hassled by all these reporters, and he's like, it was natural disasters and aliens, you know.
Because that's the arc where they simultaneously reveal the disaster itself.
Yeah.
But also, when we flash forward, there is only mention of like conspiracy theories around it, which shows that nothing ever got out anyway.
Yeah, literally. So literally everything that Takano is like fighting for, you know, because in that scene she said, you know, my dream is that it'll get to the world, the leaders of Japan, and they'll recognize it for what it is. But spoiler alert, it doesn't leave that room. Those people see it and believe it's real, but like beyond that,
they now have incentive to bury it harder.
Exactly. That's the like dramatic irony, and it's why I fucking love all these scenes we're getting, because as I say, the anime doesn't explore Takano and Tomataki's relationship nearly as deeply, and I'm loving this. But like getting to just see that irony in such detail in the scene that we just had there, like I'm living for this, you know.
It's excellent.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay. It appears that they came out above ground in the mountains.
Actually, just one small final note.
Yeah, sure.
I do like as well that a lot of the time, I think when you read stories, it's really hard to draw a line between like someone being credibly misled and just completely through falsehoods.
Okay.
And I really like Takano here. You can see why she was able to believe the bullshit that she's believing.
Absolutely.
Like we can so obviously see the holes in it, but it's credible in a way that I think it is like it's weird that the reasoning behind it is so credible when the actual operation around what we are believing is so incredible.
It's so bizarre. Well, that's the beauty of Matsuri Bayashi, and it's why it's an arc that I don't remember the blow for very well, but I remember it as a whole so clearly because the thesis of it is so strong. Because like we have Akasaka punching vans and Tomataki becoming a train. Yeah. And now we're gonna give Shion an AK-47. Okay, sure.
And it's also like, you know, when you're writing stories and you're like trying to figure out your character motivations, it's one of the difficult things to do is to figure out like how could someone believe something this stupid? And Ryukishi has done an excellent job.
He does. Yeah. I think that the humanization of Takano when she's barely a character, you know, before Arc 7 and then in Arc 7 is just the villain, right? Like she just is unabashedly evil in the massacre, right?
Like for stuff like the disease itself, like Hinamizawa syndrome, I do not think gets enough detail to like warrant its existence in the story. But Takano on the flip side, you're like, there's like nothing going on. How are we supposed to know anything about the villain? And then you get here and Ryukishi wraps it all up and
in such a perfect way
shows you storytelling he's already done you didn't know about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's genius.
He's like, this is why she's so obsessed with the village, and this is why she keeps talking about fathers and stuff and and it just all wraps itself together. It's all
like
about
I only picked up on one of them, but as you're reading through this, you realize how much fucking more there was just sneaking through in the background. I mean, it impresses me so much.
God, going through the story again and looking at the relationship between Tomataki and Takano is so fucked up, knowing that like she literally murders him. Like the day that we meet her in every arc is also the day that she fucking puts him in the ground. But again, you know, in the scene that we just saw, she still is like regretful and, you know.
Yeah.
She's human, you know.
Well, like that's the whole thing with Arc 7 and like learning to change fate rather than just letting it happen is now that we've changed that Takano's having these moments to think back on it.
I like, and we'll break off this and get back to the show in a second, but like they distinctly, Ryukishi like pointed out that the thing that made her realize that she can't kill Tomataki, because in any other arc she'd be like, I got Tomataki in a room, either he joins me or I kill him, or I just kill him.
Yeah.
You know? But it pointed out that because Tomataki went missing for a couple of days, she like realized how much she missed him.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. But like with a psychopath. And so I imagine also that in the other arcs, part of what like fuels the madness and like pushes her towards the, you know, as the disaster is that she's like, I've killed Tomataki. That's my point of no return. That also comes to like, nobody has died yet, which obviously she's killed people in the past. But like once she kills Tomataki, Flash, that's the bottle, the cork in the bottle, you know, and then it all just explodes from there. In a sense, if we can prevent, you know, in this timeline, if we can prevent Tomotaki's death in the first place, the initial murder that we were even tasked to solve in this story, it all comes back around, doesn't it?
Funny that.
Yeah, if we can prevent his death, then we can stop Takano from doing everything else and save everybody, hopefully. It's so good. And that's exactly it, right? It's all these little things coming together, and as you're, you know, realizing and thinking about it, like, oh, I understand. Tomotaki really was the key, but also Hanyu is the key, but also Takano is all these characters from different perspectives are like the key to the story.
It's why I keep saying, like, this is fucking ridiculous, but Ryukishi has earned it.
Yes, it is a wonderful ensemble cast shenanigan story. It appears that they came out above ground in the mountains. They might have tried to get some help from the... Sorry, this is Soldier. They might have tried to get some help from the villagers, but a patrol vehicle found R and some of her dumb friends and started tailing them. For a time, R and the transmitter were operating separately, but they rejoined at the mountains on the map.
You saying they split up, then met back up?
They must have planned their escape route, I guess. I'm sure they're confident that they know their way around the mountains well enough. If there are too many trees, if the bushes are too high, our weapons won't work as well as they should. That's what that karate guy would think, at least.
Karate guy?
The karate guy. Did he ever say his name? I don't know.
I think so.
I hope he just didn't. I hope he was just like, I'm the guy from 5 years ago, but I won't tell you my name. Karate guy. Okanogi was determined to catch him this time. He kept saying how he was simply caught off guard before. Damn, it's personal.
They can't escape this time. We must catch them before they get to Okanogi.
Well, that's not their goal, so... Yeah, I know. Since they know the mountains better than we do, we'll have to get serious here. Well, our units will besiege and overrun them. All units, did you hear that? Think of it like a soccer game, yeah? Our opponents are gonna try and score a goal. That goal is Okonomiya. Don't let them get there. The karate guy's mine, though. I will absolutely bring him down.
Felix here, roger that.
Nightingale here, roger that.
Skylark here, roger that.
Heron here, roger that. All units, move out. If we fail, it's game over. It's too bad they're not playing soccer.
Quite so. We cannot fail. I'll take command of the corps from here.
Ooh.
You think it'll be all right to leave Tomotaki behind?
Sure. We're leaving 8 armed security guards behind. That won't be enough. Even if the enemy came out that would double that number, they'll be fine. That karate guy will be more of a problem. We simply can't underestimate him. The security unit guarded the basement of the Erie Institute, which was the heart of the organization. Therefore, they were armed more heavily than anyone else in the Mountain Dogs. Okanogi's confidence in the security unit and his newfound obsession with defeating Akasaka made the diversionary plan a success. Well, spoilers. But at the same time, that meant the decoy club members would have to deal with the full force of the Mountain Dogs. And I'm sure that 6 or 7 small teenage girls will not be able to defeat a paramilitary organization with government funding.
That's quite right.
That will never happen.
It's literally impossible.
Look, at least we're not a small group of teenagers fighting and defeating God, okay?
I can't believe this finally became a YA novel here in the dying chapters.
Let's go. The Dogs' white vans ran through the village while they couldn't fire shots outside. All members were carrying stun guns that fired electric needles, super non-lethal. While poor in range, they could subdue a target instantly. With the flip of a switch, they could change between merely stunning or killing their target. That's fucked up. The perfect weapon for people like the Mountain Dogs. They also home in on their targets, apparently. That's what I hear. The vans separated into groups and headed for the mountains. They were planning to surround their enemies and then smoke them out.
Commander, all units are standing by in position.
Very well. Aja, please give the order. Oh, there she is.
Dressed up for the occasion.
She got the battle attire going.
This is Takano. Make sure you capture R alive. Don't care if you kill the rest. Don't let them escape.
Damn.
Finish it right there.
Damn, right. We need to defeat these small children quickly. Nightingale, Skylark, Heron. Start hunting. Phoenix will be the goalkeeper and we'll be the reserve. Be ready for anything. What do you think the bird thing is supposed to mean? Is it because like birds eat cicadas? Is that like, do you think that's where that comes from, or? Because they're dogs, they're mountain dogs, but all their like formations and groups are named after birds.
There's a part of me that just thinks that Ryukishi thought it sounded cool.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. Anyway, I wonder if these Japanese names being translated in English, or if this is one of those English things. Let us know in the comments if you know anything about Ryukishi's birds, and I guess it's also related to Tomotaki's bird watching. Anyway, this is Felix 7. Roger that. Let's begin. So boys
pulls out a horn like game start.
There we go. The mountain dogs started marching, spreading out in a line with a few meters between them. This mountainside was a savage land where not even the villagers would dare tread. There were some trails, but no paved roads for human beings. It required an enormous amount of diligence and patience to hunt on a mountain like this. All the dogs were very nervous. They were told that most of their enemies were children. Well, yeah, but there were a few well-trained adults of them as well, so those are the ones you should be worried about. In addition, they were supposedly armed quite heavily, and they knew the layout of the terrain quite well. It was obviously going to be a tough battle.
Okinogi, how many people do you usually need to search a mountain?
Depends on the mountain. It's hard to say, but I'm sure that the more people we have, the better position we'll be in. But all the mountain dogs put together won't be even close to enough.
But our enemies are just a small group of people. Don't you think we're at an advantage? Well, you know what people always say. It takes thrice the forces to break a defense. We have twice more than that on our side.
Is that what people say?
I suppose it is.
I guess it is now. Well, that theory works if we're talking about thousands of soldiers. It doesn't work in small-scale battles. The U.S. Armed Forces proved that in the Vietnam War.
Ouch.
Pause for effect. Even Takano's sweating at that one. That's sick burn. Damn.
Then, in this case, how great of a force do you think you need to search this mountain, Okinogi?
Whatever works, I guess.
I don't know what you mean by that. What would be an appropriate military force?
I like how she's trying to grill him. She's like, what are the numbers, though? I need to know exactly how many people you need. He's like, it's fine. We'll wing it. Don't worry about it. Considering what happened this morning, we have to conclude that the commander is extremely brilliant. They also have at least 2 weapon experts, at least 1 close combat expert.
Okay, I see that, but the rest are all kids, aren't they?
That's what I think too, but we're in their territory. One kid who knows an area well could be equal to a finely trained patrol unit. That is not accurate. They are more troublesome than you think, Major.
I think it is true, but the percentage of children who would be able to satisfy that statistic would be absurdly small.
You know what? If only we had a child who could take a small percentage and turn it into a certain 100% percentage. If only there was a child who had that ability.
Then tell me how great of a force you'll need to actually suppress them.
Oh my God! Stop it! We'll need 1 division. Let me explain what I mean by that. 3 or 4 mountain dogs rather, make a battalion, and 3 or 4 battalions make a regiment. And finally, 3 or 4 regiments make a division.
Yes, thank you, Ryukishi. I'm sure that the fucking person who's just paid them all off would be completely unfamiliar with this.
It's true.
You saying we need 30 times as many people?
No, of course, that alone isn't enough. We need to get in touch with an artillery base and request an advanced bombardment. If we get help from the area, I would have fancied to drop napalm bombs.
You've got to be kidding me. We don't have that much force at our disposal. What do you think would happen if we tried to chase them down with our current manpower?
So stupid. Well, it won't be easy, that's for sure. Okinogi laughed boldly. He said it wouldn't be easy, but he also seemed to be implying that he was the only one capable of doing it. Although this is their territory, they just got there a little while ago. They don't have a base and they didn't even have time to set up traps. It's a good thing they were not set up beforehand. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've had enough time to use their knowledge of the mountain to their advantage.
Here's one major plot hole I'd like to poke.
Wait, which one?
They've been surveilling Rika for years.
Then they haven't explored the mountains ever.
No. Even then. The person she has been living with for all of those years has been setting up traps.
Exactly.
And somehow they haven't noticed this entire time.
They haven't noticed them setting up the traps. They haven't thought to check her notebooks to see how to disarm them or how to deal with her in any way. She hasn't even come up in conversation.
It's very silly.
She's also part of their fucking medical experiments.
I know.
Nobody knows.
This is
Nobody
ridiculous.
knows who Sadako is. She's an enigma. As Takano listened to Okunogi's thorough and completely realistic explanation,
Prove me wrong, Ryukishi, please.
She felt a little anxious when she pretended to be friendly with Takano and Takano. She used to tell Takano all about her mountain. Here we go. We're learning. Takano remembered how Sega told her all about all kinds of traps she'd set up, but she couldn't recall because she didn't pay attention. She didn't communicate. Stupid Takano, get wrecked. She couldn't recall which mountain Sadako was talking about. Which one could it possibly be?
I still think the dogs should have known this, but I'm happy with this. I'm
glad that Takano remembers some of this.
I have a wide grin.
Oh my god.
Skylark to base, we've located some of the targets. We can't see her. We're still searching.
That's the voice of a hardened, grizzled military man. Mm-hmm. We can use them as hostages, capture them even if fire isn't there.
Nightingale, did you hear that? Gather up the nearby units and block their escape route.
Roger, we'll back you up.
Oh, of course, they'd want to cut off our escape route, wouldn't they?
Some fallen trees were leaning against a much larger pine tree, forming a natural scaffold. A small hut, which you can cleverly see in the background, made out of plywood, had been built on top of them. It was one of Sadako's many secret bases. It was in a perfect spot, since Mion could see the foot of the mountain well. The mountain well sounds important. Wow. Well, hold on. It's been a while since I've done this voice. Let me just get my button gear. Wow, this went just as Michan expected.
Well then, let's see what they've got, huh?
Can we win? Can we?
What are you talking about? Our enemy's commander is worthless. They need at least one division, but they're trying to attack us with just a single company. What are they thinking? To see how many of them will be able to go back down the mountain in one piece today.
Damn. It's true. The maths don't lie.
Oh, damn it! Is Skylark 2 has been attacked! Shit, don't let him get away! They'll let loose tons of logs! Skylark 6 sprained his ankle! Unable to pursue!
Oh, come on.
We'll go on without him!
Fucking sprain your ankle, whatever, dude. Don't let him escape. Keep chasing him until the end. Don't even give them a chance to rest.
You know what I want? You know what I watched recently?
Explosions. What?
I recently rewatched Stormbreaker.
Which one's that?
A movie adaptation of the first Alex Rider book by Anthony Horowitz. Terrible series.
Okay.
Like, just unabashedly ridiculous in just ways that I cannot fathom.
Yeah.
But the adaptation of that film had a, like, European assassin whose, like, signature move in the film was hanging upside down by a long ladder from the bottom of a helicopter with 2 submachine guns.
And just spraying?
And just spraying at people.
Sure.
And I just want that for Okanogi right now.
Yeah, you want him to show with the helicopter upside down by his ankles. Yeah, totally. I love that. If he could just go full ham, I'm in. Oh, good lord. Uh-oh. This is Skylark 11. We've encountered a trap. Skylark 12 and 13 probably have a concussion. Oi, we would have been dead if we weren't lucky.
This is Skylark 16. A trap got me. I'm tangled in steel wires, unable to escape. I can't cut them with my knife.
Oh no.
Somebody bring a wire cutter.
A wire cutter for the wires? Too logical for this company. I feel like we're giving all these military men terrible voices, but I feel like these are the kind of people that are in this company.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like that's exactly,
anyone
it
more
just makes
qualified
sense.
would be in an actual unit who didn't have to get bribed to make a living.
Exactly. Chaotic radio transmissions came in, one after another. Obviously, Okanogi had been wrong about the mountain dogs being in an advantageous position. Nightingale 10 to base. Those bastards decided to pit trap with a mountain well. 2 members fell in, unable to rescue them. We need help. What? Stop! What's the matter, Nightingale 10? Come in, Nightingale 10. This is Nightingale 10 that been hit. I was pushed from behind by a small child. Nightingale 9 through 11 are in the well now. We're unarmed but unable to escape. Shit.
Base to Nightingale, your backup has been attacked. The enemy can see your movements. Watch out.
This is Nightingale 1. I have a question. How can they see our movements? There's no UAV in the air or nothing.
Now they got a kill streak, bro.
Oh, shit.
Just tap that
That's
D-pad.
Unfair. Skylark 1 to base. We failed in our pursuit. We lost them. This is impossible. This mountain-size full of traps. We've already had a lot of injured men and only covered a very tiny distance.
Heron 1 to HQ. We found R and some of her friends. We're going after them. We need assistance immediately.
They split up, huh? Their plan is to confuse and entangle us with traps. Heron 1, be careful. They're luring you into a trapped area. They're splitting up to divert us and are planning an ambush. This is an extremely advanced tactic, only done by the 12 top chess masters in the world. There have already been many injuries in the other units due to these traps and ambushes. Be careful. Be prepared for anything, Heron 1. Even small children. Heron 1? Oh shit, music changed. What? You want to take this one?
Oh, I was already Heron 1.
Oh, were you? But do you think that they're going to get another line though? Whatever. Heron 2 to base. Heron 1 is trapped. Come on, somebody cut the rope. It's a great mobile game. The rest of you keep going. Don't let us escape.
Jerry, what the fuck? You said we'd be safe when we signed up for this unit.
Do you understand now, Ben?
Jerry is a paramilitary soldier the whole time. Is that?
I mean, yeah. They had to have an inside man somewhere.
He was also the son of the mayor.
Oh yeah, but he's all
grown up now.
He's also undead.
He's the age of 16. Yeah. Whatever. He's ready to join the paramilitary and a government conspiracy.
That's right.
Paid off. What's he gonna spend that money on?
I don't know.
Chocolate?
Probably.
Fucking Aquaman. Okay. Sorry.
Got
fucking
that.
Chocolate. Don't let her escape.
Who was Nightingale 1? I've already forgotten.
Nightingale
on the base. Nightingale 7 and his team have gone silent. It's very possible that they've been attacked.
Oh, really?
Allow us to send assistance.
It's possible. This is Heron 5. 3 of our unit members have been knocked out by falling drums. Very ironic death. What the hell is this? Are there more of those ahead of us?
This is Skylark 13.
Jesus.
I was down.
And now back up again.
There's one of them now. I'll chase them down.
Jesus.
Damn it, I'm gonna get you.
Stop, Scout 13. You can't take them all by yourself. I'm so irrationally afraid for Scout 13.
Come out, wherever you are. Come on this way.
Damn kid. Wait right there. Skylark 13 chased Sadako with an enraged snarl on his face, but Sadako ran through the woods effortlessly. Small branches scratched his body all over, but he continued to chase Sadako. Sadako ran like the wind. To her, she was simply running in her own backyard. Who would get injured in a place like that?
Depends on how many punji pits you have in your backyard.
Skylark 13 ran after her. He passed many mountain dogs who couldn't even move because of Sadako's traps. The more of his trap fellows he saw, the more he wasn't sure if the girl he was after was really a girl, but a demon. She was just something that looked like one. He reached an area where logs were stacked up in piles. It seemed like the trees in the area were being... I didn't get that last word. Chopped down. It was a rather strange scene. On his way there, Skylark 13 saw a member from a different unit hanging upside down from a tree, and he also saw feet sticking out of a pitfall. There was a member whose foot was tied to the root of a tree with a device that looked like a pair of handcuffs. He reached this area after seeing all of them, and then he got wrecked. He suddenly started sweating all over his body. The Skylark 13 realized he had been lured into a trap.
Fuck, he's a bit slow.
That's all right. He'll pick it up later. He'd been caught in a snare. She had tricked him. The girl was standing in the middle of the open area, calmly balancing on a stump. She was simply looking at him. Shit, he thought. She's trying to lure me in. Don't do it, nerd. You have to live for the sequel. This is Skylark 13. I chased one of them to an open field. I'll catch her. I'll get her.
This is Nightingale 7, I'm the one hanging behind you! That isn't a girl! That's a demon!
That's what I said!
If you chase her, you'll end up in hell!
Come on, Base to Skylark 13, that's enough! Wait for assistance! Some nearby members are on their way.
What's the matter, huh? If you want to catch me, you need to step forward about 10 meters.
It was only 10 meters. If he walked about 10 meters, he could just shoot her. He could catch that brave little girl. How many steps did he have to take to walk 10 meters? If he took 10 steps to walk 10 meters, that meant there would be 10 more chances of stepping on a trap. It's like Minesweeper. But it was only 10 steps. He can catch her after taking just 10 steps.
Well, if you really want to catch me, then why not take your first step? Come on.
No, that's death. Shit! How is he going to take his first step? That area with weeds looks suspicious, but the bare ground looks suspicious too. What if he jumped onto a tree stump? No, that was what she wanted him to do.
He needs to anime up one of the trees and then like leap off it and do
He needs to do a backflip or double. Get his car. Cold sweat was dripping off of Scarlet 13's body. He only needed to take 10 steps. So why was he so nervous about taking the first one? Jesus. Scarlet 13, from what I can see, the tree stumps look okay. You can jump on them.
Don't, Skylark 13, this is Nightingale 8, the one tied to the tree root. The tree stumps must be traps. There are too many stumps there, and that's just too suspicious.
Within eyeshot, if they're like right behind him, he can just see them talking. Why do they need to clarify? Can you hear me, Scarlet 13? Don't go in any bushes. They're dangerous. And step on the weeds. The open ground is dangerous too. Shit. Now where should I step?
I'm imagining that scene in Undertale where you approach the bridge of like all of the different colors and they spend ages describing the rules.
These are the rules. Piranhas don't like lemon, so don't step on the yellow tiles. You'll get smelled like lemon. Red spaces have monsters in them. And then it's just a fucking pathway. Yes. Oh, God. Then where should I step? Do you want me to fly?
Yes.
What on earth are you doing? I'm growing bored waiting for you.
This is Nightingale 9, the one who's tied up, but my head is being patted by one of the targets. She says that it's a trap field. Supposedly, that girl's magnum opus is set up there. You should be super extra careful. You gotta be kidding me. Did he say magnum opus? What does he mean by magnum opus? Now what about all the other traps? Weren't they her magnum opus? We mountain dogs are professionals, so paid to engage in battle. Yet this little girl's playing us like a fiddle. Can we not beat her? Can we beat that brat? This must be a bluff. How is it possible for a trap to exist that's worth than what I've seen so far? That's a bluff, that must be a bluff. Now I'm definitely going to get her. Should I start with my right foot or my left? Decisions. The girl suddenly lifted her hand and thrust it at me. Is she trying to tell me to stop by? Who knows?
5 steps.
What?
If you can take 5 steps without stepping on a trap, you win.
It's all traps, you fool. I see. You're confident, aren't you? If I take 5 steps safely, what are you going to do?
Let's see. I'll admit my loss and surrender. How about that? My brain is as sharp as ever today. I'll get you before you take your 5th step.
What a nerd. Stupid fucking kid. Let's go. Calm down, Scarlet 13. Don't let her provoke you.
She's a demon. Don't let her appearance fool you. She can read your mind. We can't defeat her.
Jesus. Pace to Skylark 13. Don't go any farther. That is enough. Nightingale is almost there. Just stay in position.
Don't they have guns?
Yes, they have needle rifles from Halo, and yet he's like, where do I step? Wow, there's plenty of bodies around too. Surely one of the 5 people in this area would have a gun. What?
It's just ridiculous.
What? Yeah, I know. I thought you were about to defend it for a second there, but
I did have the thought that perhaps they're just only close range tasers. But then I realized that if they only provided them with that, then they're also stupid.
Yeah, well, this is the problem, right? Who fucking cares? But that would mean I lose. 5 steps, you say, damn it, I'm in then. 5 steps, right? Just say 5 steps, right?
How many times do you need to repeat it? A man should only say things once unless he's whispering words of love.
Yeah, Ryukishi. Damn you, kid! Skylar 13, she's going to read your mind. She's preparing to read your mind. Calm down, that's right. I'm Skylar 13. I'm cool-headed, cool as ice. Just like Go-Go, so I need to keep a level head and think, right? She's already out of my thoughts. She could see how I'll think if I had to take 5 steps towards her.
Whatever do you mean by that?
This is what it means. I'll go forward. I'll take 5 steps backwards. Yeah, I did it. I was certain it was a trick. If I take 5 steps, I win. She didn't say I had to move forward. I could go backwards too.
And that's why you're done with those 5 steps.
Uh-oh. It was a reverse trap. Skylark 13 down.
That fool. He let her mess with him.
Oh no. Sadako's remarkable performance wasn't just her own effort alone. Mion had mastered the geography and the enemy's formations while instructing Sadako. They also had the power of anime.
That's right.
Sadako marked all of her traps on the map. When that map and Mion's ability to command combined, the club was simply unbeatable. Rika and Hanyu, who knew about the mountain almost as well as Sadako, relayed orders from Mion to Keiichi or Rena. They then prepared for the ambush. Why are they explaining this? Like, we think this is what was happening. It's just happened.
We know this.
The traps didn't always activate when they were stepped on. Sometimes Keiichi and the others were setting them off at the right moments. Keiichi and Rena continued to fight everywhere according to Mion's orders. Sometimes they'd hide and sometimes they'd attack. One by one, they eliminated their enemies. Got him. Sadako's traps had been taking down most of the enemies, but Keiichi's surprise attacks with his bat had worked out successfully too, when he fucking murdered people. Not even the well-trained mountain dogs could respond to attacks after being stunned or killed by those traps. Humans need a little time to react. According to the research done by the US Armed Forces, the average reaction time is 15 seconds.
How fucking long does Ryukishi think 15 seconds is?
That seems extremely slow. That seems like too slow. Like, I guess to like mentally comprehend something, but like...
So like take in a situation, reaction time is normally 100 to 200 milliseconds.
It's like less than a second.
I have lots of data to back that up.
Do you really?
I do actually. Did lots of reaction time testing.
I don't know if your facts and logic can hold up in a court of law.
Tested over 700 people.
What is that? What are you referring to? Is this a real thing?
I just did reaction time testing on 700 people.
Why?
For an engineering competition.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. No further questions, Your Honor. In other words, any soldier is powerless for 15 holes with holding a gun. Did you know that, Felix? Did you know that if there's an armed, highly trained military soldier in the room with an assault rifle,
yes,
you have a full 15 seconds to shoot them in the head?
Well, of course, because they're trained to monologue before they do anything.
For the first 15 seconds.
Yeah,
that makes sense. In other words, any soldier is powerless during the 15 seconds following a surprise attack. Shortening those 15 seconds is one goal of their training, but no matter how much they train, it will never become zero. Their radio communications had actually made things much worse for them. The more they heard about it was a morale thing. The more they heard about damage done to the other units, the more worried they got. That slowed them down and made them think less strategically. Is that okay? At that point, as far as Mion was concerned, the mountain dogs were no longer a force to be reckoned with. She's an anime girl, and you can't beat anime girls at their own game.
Me? Oh, Keiichi was successful. He bundled them all up nicely together. Me pasta. Oh, Sadako did it too. She finished off all of them.
Got it. Looks like we've got 5 more points with this one, huh?
We did it.
Okay, my lovelies, what are you going to do now? About 30% of your southern army has dropped out. At least 1 or 2 men have responded to calls from some injured soldiers. And what that means is they hardly have anyone left. Any decent commander would order a retreat around now.
But he's not decent. This is Skylark 1. We have too many injured men in our unit. We don't have anyone to continue the pursuit. We have no other choice but to give up. Skylark 1, we might have been barely damaged, but we're definitely now in the enemy's range of action.
I think this is Okanogi.
Is that what?
He's responding to Skylark.
Oh, but... You know, whatever, dude. You know what? It doesn't matter. This is dumb. It's dumb. Who cares? Whatever. Let me get my voice ready then. Skylark 1, we might have been barely damaged, but we're definitely narrowing the enemy's range of action. You may not withdraw. Maintain the front with what you've got. Shit! Skylark 1 to all units! The commander is basically telling us all to die! Check your supplies once more and we'll resume the march. I read that as merch for a second there. I was like, resume the merchandise! Continue selling at all costs!
Oh, it's Takano. Even stranger.
There you go. Get wrecked, everybody involved in this episode.
Do we give Ryukishi a point or do we take a point?
I don't fucking know. It was so unclear that has it been Takano this entire time? Has she been just shouting into the mic? Are we owed like 10 points?
I think we are.
Let's take 10 points.
Let's take 10 points.
And if you want to dispute it in the comments, well, you know what to do. Yeah, don't. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you hate us, if you love us, if you want to whisper sweet nothings in our ears, let us know.
Takano-san is so mad that she won't allow it. Morale of the unit commander is down because his request to withdraw was denied and they have to resume the march.
There you go.
Here's our chance. Rika-chan, meet up with Renner and lure them into Section Z. Perhaps there is something else.
Not Section Z.
You tell Kei-chan to move on to Section X. What a fun game.
I get it, because they play games to win.
Oh wow. Mion's in perfect form. Me. If she was born in a different era, her name would have been in the history books.
Just like Keiichi. Remember? That happened in like Arc 6. That was a thing.
It did. If you ask me, Nelson and Togo are both mediocre. It's like I can see this mountain inside and out.
Aha! Mion was the type to display exponential ability. What a fucking line. When she's down, she's at rock bottom, but when she's in perfect form, it's just terrifying. That was the blood of the head of one of the 3 families of Hinamizawa.
That's right.
The blood on the stones there. There's the blood of the head. If Mion had been around for a historical battle, she would have changed history. As if this isn't a historical battle for future people. If she would have joined Napoleon, Siberia would be French territory. If she would have joined Hitler, Europe would belong to the Third Reich. And even with all that, the battle in the mountains was simply a diversion. That's really what Hitler was missing, you know. They had all that pseudoscience and techno giant robot things, but they didn't have anime girls.
Absolutely.
That's what they were missing. Just as Mion had expected, everything had collapsed into chaos. If the mountain dolls could think calmly, they could have realized they hadn't seen any adults, but they didn't notice, confused as they were by all the attacks they were suffering. They couldn't count their numbers. Of course, that too was part of Mion's plan. The scale of the diversion would help hide the fact that there was a rescue unit. Are we going to cut over to them? I hope so. Going to get Tomotaki Flash. Therefore, the more chaotic the battle grew on the mountain, the better it was for the rescue unit. That was why she chose such an ostentatious method of fighting. What other method of fighting was there? Yeah, whatever. But at the same time, that was exactly the kind of fight Mion that preferred. She didn't intend to let it be just a diversion. She was planning to destroy the dog's main force on these mountains. Yet, most frightening of all was our home advantage. It wasn't exaggerating to say the theory that defenders have thrice the advantage over assailants is heavily due to their advantage of location. That's what the deeping wall is for. In that case, how is the rescue unit doing? Let's find out. Were they at a disadvantage because they were on the offense?
Because they have Uriah with them. It's his way around.
It's true. They also have several combat specialists. I think they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
The 4 rescue unit members, led by Irie, were hiding in a bush next to the clinic. They also have an anime girl in them, which is more than enough to defeat 8 security guards. One anime girl is easily
literally
to 10.
Unstoppable.
They are. Let's go. The security camera on this side of the clinic is broken, so it's safe. God, I miss that voice.
You want to attack from this side? Are you sure?
Yeah. Our enemy is completely dependent on the security system, so it should be all right.
Okay, let's go then. Should we head along the wall to the back of the director's office?
I just want to say I'm so glad that we ended up in this scene with 2 and 2 in terms of our voices. I didn't plan this.
Every other scene in the game.
Thank God. It finally worked out. Yeah, I didn't close the window when I left, so it should still be open as long as nobody decided to close it because of, whatever reason. When you go into the window, there is a back door and a security camera, as well as a security room for the first floor. There should be 2 guards in there. The entrance to the basement is being observed by a security camera, so they'll find us right away. They don't know who you are.
Okay, then we have to take those 2 guards down on the first floor, right? It's a basic rule to secure an escape route.
It's true.
We'll go in through the office and then to the security room on the first floor.
There you go. They moved forward the only way they could move, walking against the wall so that they'd remain in the blind spot of the security cameras. They soon reached the window of the director's office. If any of the village kids saw them, they'd assume they were playing around, pretending to be spies, but they really weren't. They were actual spies. Irie was glad that the clinic was closed on Sundays. Wait, you just close your local hospital on Sundays? Is that a thing that people do?
It's a small village. They probably don't have the staff to keep it open any longer.
I guess so. Still, it feels weird to me.
Like, it's the kind of thing where the people who work there live within, like, a stone's throw from the hospital, so if they had an emergency, they could be there. House. Yeah. But if it's like...
Doc, I need help. Can you please open up the clinic?
It's like, oh, I have a cold. It's like, well, you're going to pay my fucking salary?
That's fair, but still, like, it just feels weird to be like, yeah, and then one day a week the hospital just isn't open. All right. I know it's a clinic, not a hospital. Nobody fight me in the comments. Irie peeked into the room. It was exactly the same as how he left it. Nobody had even searched it or looked through his stuff. The window was still open, I think is what that said.
It doesn't matter because the next line says that anyway.
The four of them suck into the room through that window that was open. Akasaka put his ear against the door to the hallway. Then he signaled the others to let them know that there was nobody on the other side. Since the clinic was closed, the mountain dogs were the only people around, so they was weapons free. It being Sunday really was fortunate. So fucking ready. It was very quiet in the clinic for a few moments. The chorus of the cicadas was the only thing that could be heard.
Is that what that sound is?
Yeah, that's it. The ominous cicada call. That's how they call each other to mate. They just make the most ominous sound they can think of. Whoa. What do you see over there? There was a clock on the director's desk. It was almost 11:30 a.m. Shion was surprised to find herself getting hungry, given all that was going on. It's almost lunchtime. Kesai and Akasaka checked over their weapons. Irie brought out a book of blueprints. This is like a fucking team. I'm loving this. Irie brought out a book of blueprints from a locked bookcase. The title said, Construction Plan for the Irie Clinic. This is the director's office. This is the security room for the first floor. It's right next to the office. These red marks are the security cameras.
Security room on the first floor shouldn't be a problem at all. Basement will be a lot more difficult.
This is the underground research section. This is the entrance to it. Here, it appears as a stairwell to the second floor of the blueprint we gave to the regular workers, but there's actually an entrance to the basement hidden there. And this is the staircase to the basement.
It's quite the basement. It's actually bigger than the section above ground.
That proves the basement contains the real identity of this clinic.
That feels like a Shion line. Who else is it
going to be? This is going to be Shion?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. You want to take it?
No, it's too late.
Okay, good. It wasn't her then.
Damn it.
It was
I'm glad we didn't take it.
Or Akasaka probably. I'd say Akasaka if I had to bet.
Sprites.
If I was a betting man. But yeah, I think there are points in that one.
This is the door that requires Coach's security access card to open, huh? Is it possible for them to revoke your access card? Is there a way to break through the door just in case we can't use it?
It's a very strong door. Then it's destroying all the evidence we're supposed to shut the door and pump water into the place. That's fucked up.
So it's an airproof door, huh? If it can endure that much water pressure, it must be strong. So there must be no other way in than by using the access card.
Those voices are a little too close.
Yeah, okay. The problem is that like pitch-wise, they're in like exactly the same place, but technique-wise, they're different.
I know that feeling. I know exactly that feeling. It's possible to block individual cards, but the access cards that Takano-san and I have are special ones for commissioned officers. These special cards require an 8-digit password set by the owner, so in practice, they can't block my card.
In other words, they don't expect commissioned officers to use them with ill intent, right?
Mm-hmm. But if that doesn't work, we'll have the guards in the security room on the first floor open it. Their card should work fine.
I doubt they'll let us use their cards, though.
Thanks, Akasaka.
If they don't want to help, all we need is a card and a finger, right?
I'd rather not do that. Let's just hope my card works. I love the way the Kensei says that, like, yeah, the cards will help us open the door.
It really could have done with the sound effect.
Yeah. That's what I imagined, but yeah. I don't know. Guess
yeah, go for it.
Guess. Where's the security room for the basement? It's located right next to the door. That room has air conditioning and the TV, so basically it's where all the security guards end up gathering. After we take down 2 guards on the first floor, there should be 6 left. 6 guards, huh? Then we'll have to get them all at once. If we don't, they'll set off an alarm. Unless we can cut the wires for it. I'm not sure where, but they must have both reserve power and reserve wiring.
Then that's a no-go. It'd be more realistic to take out everyone in the security room. Are the guards armed?
The guards on the first floor aren't armed, but I've heard they keep guns in the security room just in case. All the security guards in the basement have guns, though. I think they have more powerful guns in their security room, too. I just want sprites.
I know.
Like, I'm sure this is being passed around between the three characters, but like, who knows?
Since those guns are for indoor use, I bet they use machine guns of a lower caliber. They won't be accurate when used at a long range, but they're extremely powerful and dangerous when in close quarters.
They had an MP5 earlier. It wouldn't be good for us if they had several more of those, but if we could take them out, the basement's ours. Oh my god, come on! Get out of the line! I'm done with you! Because I deduced that because they were like, they had an MP5, I was like, it's either Shion or Kasai. But no, I picked wrong. I bet on the wrong horse.
Coach, where's Sadashi-kun?
I'd rather not move him, but we can't leave him in the enemy's hands either. Let's move him somewhere safe. I need to be with him too. Wait, she just asked where he was! Oh shit.
Which room is Sadashi-kun in?
He's in the confinement room down here. He's been staying there since last year.
Sadashi-kun.
The look in Shion's eyes made clear her determination. The security guards who chased after Irie were in the security room on the first floor in the security room. They had resumed their game of poker. They knew that the mountain dogs were combing the mountains and they were well aware that the Institute continued to be in danger, but they were bored. And their job was to stay in that room, and besides, they were working hard on their poker game. Just the amount of just chuckle fucks in this company. Of course, they weren't really concentrating on the game itself. They were still both chatting about the recent car chase and both seemed proud about what they had done. We're going to humanize them. They were ordered to shoot at the tires, but they wished they had been ordered to shoot at Irie himself. Wow! They definitely would have caught him then. They talked and laughed like that. When people sought to be on edge, that left them all the more vulnerable, Felix. This was a perfect example. So it's a lesson. It's a lesson about paying attention.
I agree.
That was why it took only 2 seconds to suppress them. Get them. Put your hands on your heads. The security guards were professionals. They immediately realized the guns Kasai, Akasaka, and Shion were holding were not toys. They'd already heard there was a gunfight in the basement of the Sonozaki residence. The security guards knew they weren't dealing with amateurs. They also knew they wouldn't hesitate to open fire. That was why they surrendered so quickly. They had handcuffs on them already, so it was easy for Kasai and the others to restrain them. The security guards had never thought they'd be wearing the cuffs themselves. How ironic. They had especially never dreamed of being locked up in a toilet. So that sentence caught me off guard a little bit. Their hands were cuffed to pipes behind them as they sat on the toilet seats. Their mouths were stuffed with hand towels and then covered with duct tape. Shion, clearly amused, remarked on how she always wanted to do this to someone. Kasai couldn't help but laugh. Loves Kasai's sense of humor. So far, so good. The real challenge is the basement. They'll see us on a security camera.
Is the camera black and white? And is the screen divided into 4 sections?
I think so. It's one of those typical screens that you see in movies.
That means its resolution isn't that great, huh? In that case, I have an idea.
Oh no. Shion-san, maybe they've already suffered enough. The mountain dogs weren't only locked in the bathroom, but had to go through extra humiliation. They went to all that trouble to tie them up, and now they're gonna, like, strip them, I assume.
No, they're gonna get an extension cable, take the security camera out of the wall, and run it into the bathroom.
There they are, everything's fine, guys. Radio calls continued to come in from the mountain dogs who were fighting up in the mountains. The security guards listened to them intently over the speakers. From what they could hear, it was obvious the mountain dogs were not doing well at all. They kept falling into traps, suffering heavy losses, getting their heads pat, all of which they had never expected. It was clear that the mountain dogs were trapped, but they even started to think that they were being lured into something bigger than a simple military maneuver. The mountain dogs had made a mistake. They assumed the club members went to the mountains to escape from Hinamizawa, but they were actually making a last stand, like in the animes. They were wrong. They were simply being lured into their enemy's carefully prepared territory. Their panicked voices of the mountain dogs, Takano's yelling, and Okanogi's reprimands could be heard through the speaker. It certainly sounded like a war zone. Phoenix 1 to Phoenix, break time is over. We're moving in, we'll take over Herod's positions. We've already suffered critical casualties on our side, but the enemy has steadily retreated, and we almost have them completely surrounded. We're almost there, and I'm sure this will be fun. We'll use Phoenix to overpower them. The Major will take command. I'm going in too. We'll finish them off. Hey, the commander's going as well. Phoenix is going in too. It's an all-out attack.
Can't believe this. Most of our units been defeated?
Who are we up against anyway? What kind of special unit are they? The security guards listening to the battle reports over the radio fluctuated between dismay and rejoicing. A cute chime rang suddenly. It was a warning chime that rang automatically when somebody went through the entrance to the basement. When the chime rang, the guards were supposed to check the screen to see who was coming through. The one who looked at the screen needed a moment to comprehend what he was seeing. Wait, so the people in the fucking command car are the ones who could see the security camera to the basement, not the guards in the basement. Like, what? There is no extra, like, viewing screen on the...
What do you want about?
Like, in my mind, there would be, like, a secondary viewing screen inside the basement somewhere, so you could, like, see who's coming in.
Yes.
But these people we're looking at now, are they the people in the basement?
Yes.
Okay, they are. Okay, good. It's all fine. I had a moment, I was like, hold on, is this the command car? I got very confused.
No.
All right, we're all good.
They were listening into the radio from the command car.
Good. Okay, we're all good. Hey, it's Director Irie there!
What?
They could see the two security guards on the first floor restraining Irie and some girl. Uh-huh. This is Director Irie, right? What's going on?
I get it. The unit fighting against the mountain dogs are a diversion. Those two are here to rescue Tomitaki.
Flash! Call the Major and let her know that we have the Director. A buzzer sounded and a computer panel displayed information about the card being used to enter. Commissioned Officer Pass, ID 0001, Special Grade 1, Lieutenant Colonel Kyusuke Irie, Director Password. Match. Fingerprint confirmation. Match. Hello. How strange. The security guards brought Irie down. That made sense, but why were they using the Director's security access card? They were even using his dumb fingerprint. Why were they having him do that? 15 seconds, right? Wouldn't it be quicker for the guards to do that themselves? Ah! One of the guards figured it out, but it was too late. The door to the basement was open and the four newcomers forced their way inside. They ran through the security camera screen and were headed straight for the security room. They had them! Oh my god. As soon as the door opened, the security guard started firing and everybody died. Akasaka realized that if it had taken him a second longer to pull back, he would have been riddled with literally hundreds of bullets. One of the guards pushed the desk on its side. The paper cups on the desk fell to the floor, spilling coffee everywhere. That's just a big old mess now. They use the desk as a barricade. It's a good thing they can like pump water into this place to clear it out. They'll clean up the coffee stains nicely.
That's very quickly.
Yeah, very efficiently. The other two guards decided to shoot at random. As long as the guards were shooting at the rescue unit, they couldn't counterattack. One of the guards activated the emergency alarm and another picked up the submachine gun off the wall. The other one picked up a gas mask. Oh shit. It was impressive that they got their act together so quickly.
Why did they put all of the sound design here and not in the places where it felt, you know?
Because this is the war zone. This is the real gunfight. A situation like this would result in a fierce gun battle. Like, see, that's what they're saying. This is the gun battle, okay? Everything else has not been a gun battle.
No, but like the scene where they were planning and, you know, they could have had the moment of him cocking the shotgun. That would have been better than this.
Ryukishi hasn't figured out how to have like well-timed sound effects yet, except for the bat sounds. Apart from that,
that's right.
Has not figured out yet. It takes him all the way till rewrite to figure that out. I mean, it would take quite a while for the rescue team to suppress the guards. The emergency alarm sounding in the basement reminded them that their surprise attack had failed. Oh, there he is!
Shit, we couldn't do it.
He's ready to punch someone.
But they're stuck in that room. While they're there, we can rescue Sadashi and Tomitaki.
Flash, where is he? Mountain dogs outside would definitely hear that alarm. If they talked too long, the enemy would come to block the escape route. Whatever. Then they'd be trapped inside. I think there was something about dealing with intruders in the security system. What? Felix?
It just said,
Okay. Irie started to speak while he tried to recollect it. Shion told him that he should have remembered something like that before they came in. Before Irie remembered, a voice came on over the speakers. Oh shit. It's time for Commander Red. There has been an emergency in the entrance block. There has been an emergency in the entrance block. All areas in the research center will be shut down as an emergency measure. All entrance area staff are to gather in the security room and put on gas masks. Please follow the security guard's instructions. The gas will be disseminated automatically in the entrance area within 2 minutes. I repeat, and then a big 2-minute timer pops up on the screen.
So we'll have to take him down and cancel the alarm within 2 minutes or we'll be in big trouble.
Uh-oh.
What kind of gas are we talking about here?
Probably.
Is it poisonous?
Probably deadly.
I think it's definitely... fuck! Diphenyl cyanoacine.
There we go, got there.
Diphenyl...
Then, hold on, let me, give me a second. 2 hours later, diphenyl cyanoacine. That was pretty close. Diphenyl cyanoacine. Arsine? Do you know if it's arsine or arsine? Do you know, Felix? Do you know?
It should be diphenyl cyanoacine.
Cyanoacine.
Diphenyl cyanoacine.
Cyanoacine. Diphenyl cyanoacine. Look, we got there. If you inhale a lot of it, it's dangerous, but it's not. I have to do it the accent. No, I'm not doing that. Diphenyl cyanoacine.
Well done.
If you inhale a lot of that, it's dangerous, but it's not deadly. It only takes a few seconds to take effect. There are many symptoms, but the most common one is to sneeze for 30 minutes. What? Okay, sure. Isn't that also called red Asian? The military used to use it to secure enemy territories. They either had to run out of there immediately or take over the security room, but since the area had been sealed off, they couldn't escape. There were armed guards in the security room, and if there was, what a rock and a hard place. And if the rescue unit members even peeked around the corner, they'd be shot at mercilessly. If only we had, some grenades or something.
Damn, this won't work. We can aim and shoot in this situation. We can't aim and shoot in this situation.
We can only do one.
Basics of indoor combat. Grenades, huh?
Come on.
Shit, we don't have it.
Come on. Does nobody have grenades? Come on, guys. If we Russian will be shot at, what can we do?
Satoshi-kun is finally within my reach. Damn it.
Is it time for Mama Bear shit? Shion pressed her forehead against her gun, gritting her teeth in frustration. As Kasai analyzed the situation, he stood up and spoke. Alright, here we go. Done for my moment. Everyone, let me handle this. The guards in the security room were on edge too. Once the gas was flowing, everything would come to an end, but the guards knew their enemy wouldn't just sit and wait for that to happen. They'd come rushing in, regardless of the counterattack they'd face. Although the guards would still have the upper hand, it'd be a point-blank gunfight. They wouldn't come out of it unscathed. Therefore, as the deadline approached, their tension increased. The guards never even considered that the door they opened would be shut again. They fired at the door, leaving many small holes in it. After that, it all went quiet. What were they thinking? There was nowhere to hide. The gas was about to be released. Why did they close the door? Did they just use all their ammunition? Was that the gambit? For what reason did they do that? That was when a loud explosion punched a hole in the door the size of a fist. Not only the door, but the wall in the security room had a similar hole. You want to be the terrified security guard?
Is it a magnum? No, that's a slug.
A calm voice echoed from the other side of the door. Correct. This weapon isn't meant to be fired at a person. You know how powerful it is, right?
Shit.
The power of a slug bullet is limited to extremely close range battles, but is also powerful, as I was saying, is extremely powerful. After all, it's fired from a shotgun, but it doesn't scatter. A shotgun is meant to fire scatter shots, but it can be used to fire only one huge, incredibly powerful bullet. Called a slug. That's a slug. It's usually used for hunting, like boar and shit. It's used to shoot at animals, not humans. If it was to be used on a human, their arms and legs would be shattered and nothing would be left of the head. Assuming that's where you hit them. It shouldn't even be called a bullet, it should be called a cannon. It would easily pierce through the door, the desk they were using as a barricade, and any guards hiding behind the desk before slamming into the wall. The guards understood very well just how powerful it was. The kind of guns they had shot out many small bullets, therefore they didn't work as well through a door. But their enemies didn't care about the door at all. Their weapon could easily pierce through any or anything. Could pierce through any enemies. Hiding behind a desk didn't mean a thing. You understand how powerful my weapon is, correct? If you don't want to die, please turn the alarm off.
Calm down, this gas will be released any minute. We have to hang in there for just a few more seconds.
Don't you realize that your guts will be scattered all over the floor before that happens? Kasai's voice was extremely intimidating. Only one who truly understood the power of the shotgun could talk that way. We don't have time. I'll give you 5 seconds. If that alarm isn't turned off in 5 seconds, well, be prepared for that.
Hey, what do we do? There are about 60 seconds left before the gas is released.
Okay, calm down, he's nervous too. Don't let him take control of the situation. That was when a deep voice rang out, reverberating through the pit of their stomachs. Hey, I've been nice up until now, but didn't you hear what I just said? It must have been coming from the same person, but it had changed so much so quickly. Hi, Tatsuyoshi Kasai. I'm giving you the chance to live. Aren't you a bit grateful for that, you pieces of shit? You don't think I'm serious, do you, huh? Answer me! A roar and explosion sounded at the same time. The upper half of the door disappeared. Oh shit. Smashing! Numerous lead balls bounced around in the room, breaking the lights and ricocheting off the walls. Shattered glass fell onto the floor. The shotgun had turned the security room into hell. The hurricane of lead balls blew violently through the room as it shattered, scattered, and destroyed everything. Fuck. The guards could only cover their heads and pray. They prayed the lead balls wouldn't hit them. They prayed to the lead ball god and endured the falling glass. Before they had a chance to recover, Kasai jumped in through what was left of the door and kicked the desk aside. He stepped on one of the guards' head and yelled at the others. All right, who wants to be minced first, huh? Is it you? What happened to that attitude just now, huh?
No, I give up. Don't shoot.
Don't waste my time, you shithead. Do you want to die? I've dealt with far more dead people than any of you.
Sorry, please don't kill me.
They dropped their guns voluntarily and got on the floor with their hands on their stupid heads. Even Shion couldn't believe what just happened. There were several of them and all had been amply armed. Kasai had a weapon too, but it was his presence that defeated them. Even the mountain dolls couldn't equal what Kasai once had to go through. What the heck are you taking a nap for? Do you want to inhale the gas? I could easily rip your mask off, you know? Turn the fucking alarm off already.
Okay, I'll turn it off. I will, don't shoot.
One of the guards got up in a hurry and switched the alarm off. Kasai stood there calmly, but they were only seconds away from the gas releasing. Shion and Akasaka came to their senses and quickly moved into the room to help Kasai subdue the guards.
Kasai, you
I never want to do something like that again, but it was an emergency. Please, forget about it. That was the Kasai Shion knew, but in the end, Kasai hadn't killed anyone. Shion remembered Kasai telling her how terrifying shotguns were in the basement of the Sonozaki residence. That was Shotgun Tatsu, whom all the people in Shishibone were so afraid of.
Have we heard that nickname before?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know, people who have better memories.
I want to say there was a moment with Tepe or something at one point earlier where they brought up Kasai had a nickname. I don't remember if it was this.
That sounds real, but I don't remember Shotgun Tatsu. She didn't move, did she?
She didn't.
Okay, good. Let's hurry. The alarm has gone off already. We can't stay for long.
You're right. Let's hurry.
Akasaka and Kasai pulled out the guards' handcuffs and restrained them. Not in the toilet this time, because that would be very cruel. Very cramped in there.
Satoshi-kun. Where's Satoshi-kun?
Now that the security room was under their control, Shion realized there was nothing keeping her from seeing Satoshi. She was getting anxious. Area had shown her the map. He must be down here, she thought. Shion had already started to run. She loves that boy. I'm going to. We have to evacuate Satoshi-kun and Tomitaki Flash-san. Alright, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Uh-oh, there's one missing. Twisty twist. Akasaka felt a chill running down his spine. Irie said there were 6 security guards. Shion wasn't paying attention to anything else. She was only thinking about her reunion with Sadashi, and she still can't hear in her left ear. That's the worst. To make things worse, the security guard is waiting on the left side of Shion. Oh no! Shion had to regret letting her guard down just a bit too early. The mountain dog jumped out and grabbed Shion. He choked her neck with his thick arm. There was no way Shion could get out of his situation alone. Irie saw what had happened. It's up to Irie. Fortunately, their backs were turned towards him. Here was Irie's chance to attack the enemy and do something useful. But today, Irie had lost a lot of confidence in himself. Oh my god. He felt he hadn't done anything right all day. Poor Irie. Fighting wasn't his expertise, so there really wasn't anything he could have done. But he was disappointed in himself for not being able to help just the same. But in that moment, he was the only one who could do the thing. If possible, he wanted to go get Kasai or Akasaka, the way cooler testosterone-fueled companions. They were both pretty reliable. Very reliable, even. They could take out this man in an instant. But there was no time for that. Only in this moment was his back facing Irie, and if Irie didn't do anything, the dog was sure to take Shion hostage, creating a deadlock. Enemy backup could arrive at any moment, so being in a deadlock would mean death. Is there like a saying about like if you see a dog's back, you should grab it? Is that a Japanese saying?
I have no idea.
Sounds real to me. Like if a dog turns his back to you, it means it's going to be a good winner. I think that's right. I think that's correct. Therefore, Irie couldn't depend on anybody else. He had to resolve the situation himself. He only had one chance.
Wait, did you say a good winter?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Interesting if true. Because it'll even be winter.
What? What? What do you mean? What do you mean it'll be winter? Oh, you mean after?
Because it's an endless summer.
Because they're going to end the July or the June. This endless June. The endless June that we rebel against.
Big if true.
Big if true. Big June if true. He only had one chance. Once the unit member turned around, the deadlock would begin. But was there even a way for Irie to knock him down in one shot? No, he had to. He must. There had to be something that only Irie could do. Just throws his notepad at him. Oh my god! He took a mechanical pencil out of his pocket.
The fucking pencil.
It was probably the strongest weapon he had. Ah!
Damn it, Director! Ah!
He stabbed the man's neck with his mechanical pencil, but it only scratched him a little. What was he thinking? The man drew his gun, pressed it to Shion's head, and created the stalemate, just as Irie predicted. But it was a poison pen. Oh, come on.
Sorry. I was only thinking about Sadashi-kun.
You've done that for a couple of arcs now. It never ends well.
Really.
God damn it, Shion. Sorry, it shouldn't be so hard.
Be your own person.
I shouldn't be so hard on her, but god damn it, Shion. Shion's eyes were filled with tears.
Okay, Director, could you please tell your friends to get rid of their weapons? Going by that huge sound before, one of you has a pretty big gun. Don't want to get shot with that.
That's fair. Come on, Irie. Remember Kasai-san from earlier? You can do it! Oh, don't make me laugh. Do you really think you can deal with me here in this basement of the Area Institute?
What?
Oh, don't assume this is a regular mechanical pencil. This is actually a syringe that Takano-san developed.
We've come full circle.
This is so good. Do you want to know what was in it? Do I need to explain?
What?
Fucking bluff. What is this? What is happening?
The only thing that could, man.
Okay.
The only thing that could.
Ryukishi's gone full mad. He's gone full mad.
If Ryukishi had intended anything else to happen, the pencil wouldn't have been involved at all.
So terrible. Terrible. If a regular person had said that, it wouldn't have worked. But Irie was wearing his white coat, and he didn't have his avocado sea glasses on him. And the basement was his territory. What he just said sounded pretty believable to me. He wanted to believe that Irie was lying, but he started to feel an itch on the back of his neck. Hey,
H178 is a drug Takano-san created. It's the masterpiece of the 170 series. There is no treatment, and symptoms such as confusion, delusion, headaches, running nose, stuffiness, constipation, and many other things will start within a few minutes.
Sounds like the legalese to a fucking American medicine commercial.
In the end, you will scratch your butt so hard you'll bleed to death. The only cure is to take the antidote within 1 minute.
That's a lie.
Well, maybe. 30 seconds have passed. It's going to through your heart by now, so soon it will be everywhere in your body. Don't your lymph nodes itch yet? Do you snore or fart when you sleep? Shion could only watch this pathetic act in silence, but for the mountain dog who worked at such a shady research center, what Irie said sounded totally believable. He's turning the conspiracy theories against him! It's happening!
Shit. Okay, I give up. Hurry up and give me the shot.
Is that the correct way to ask someone to do something for you?
Okay, I give up, sir. Please give me the shot.
No, that's not good enough. That's not how you talk to your master. I'll tell you one more time. Are you ready? I have to inject you in the butt. Get on your hands and knees with your pants down. After that, stick your butt up and put your shoulders onto the floor. Bite your right thumbnail and turn around. There you go. Shake your butt and beg me to give you the antidote. But you can't do that. That's sad. Ever since ancient times, maids vowed complete loyalty to their masters. Their selfish devotion has created the virtues and culture we enjoy today.
Irie on feminism.
Yeah. Oh my god. But look at what is happening to that wonderful Japan nowadays. Youngsters have forgotten the spirit of maids, tanned their skin, started wearing those socks with flashy Hawaiian fashion. What happened to Japanese women of the good old days? Be careful of excessive tanning, or to take care of your skin to keep it smooth.
I didn't do that.
Is fucking going. What is happening? We have to go back. Go back.
No.
What do you mean?
Well, hurry up or you're going to miss this one as well.
What do you mean?
Well, hurry up. It's doing it automatically. My hands are off the controller.
Oh my god.
Come on, Ben. I did better than you as Keiichi, and I hate this shit.
Stop! They're dangerous to mix! Then you get housekeepers, not maids, and housekeepers for me. It's a series of videos people watch. Say for me, it's the extinction of maids. When that time comes, the moon will shatter and rain down to the earth, and it'll be very bad. It's the Judgment Day. Prophesies in Revelations. When the great maid headbands covers the entire earth, the true king of maids will revive. Neil, take back the stones and that kid. Here's the magic firstly tail upright made in heaven.
Are you okay, Shion-chan?
No! What?
It's official. Ben was too weak to do what I did twice.
I could have done that if I knew it was gonna fucking
You should have smelled it the moment it started.
I was not prepared.
We've had several of these at this point.
I didn't think that Irie was gonna get one.
Oh, come on.
No, I was not prepared. That's all right. That's all right. I got made in heaven, that's the main thing.
Yes, thank you. Coach, Akasaka-san and Kasai are here. They got him.
What? But I'm not finished teaching him about maids yet.
You can continue later, Doctor.
Oh, okay. I guess we will continue later.
Satoshi-kun.
There really was nobody left to stop her. She ran down the hallway at full speed. It was right there. There was a huge window in front of Shion that allowed her to look inside. Shion threw herself at the window. Satoshi was there, lying on the bed. He was sleeping with an IV connected to his arm. There were some wires attached to his forehead and chest to observe his brain waves. The waves of light displayed on the machine they connected to proved that he was at least still alive. But he might be sleeping very deeply. His face was pale and he looked like there was barely any life left in him.
He is alive, right? Satoshi-kun is alive, isn't he?
Calm down. Dotire, hurry. Irie brought in a stretcher to load Satoshi onto. Kasai opened it up.
Hurry, put Satoshi-kun on it.
Shion-san, before we take him out of here, there's one thing I want you to promise me.
Irie gave Shion a condition. What is he saying now? Shion angrily thought.
I'm going to move him onto the stretcher, but don't try to wake him up. Do you understand? I want you to promise me.
Why? Why can't I wake him up? I don't know, Shion. Why haven't you fucking seen him in the last year, you thick
Just wake him up. It'll be fine.
idiot?
It'll be fine. That was the first thing Shion wanted to do, just like running down that hallway and murdering her entire family. All good options. She wanted to tell him personally that he was free, but Irie was telling her that she couldn't do that.
I know it's hard. I'm going to tell you the truth quickly. Satoshi-kun suffered serious emotional damage on that day. Fortunately, he's alive, but he can't tell his friends from his enemies or truth from fiction. He is suffering from a serious delusion of persecution and fear. To escape from that, he would attack anyone. In fact, one of the clinic staff was seriously injured last year, so much that she had to go through facial reconstruction surgery.
We had some foreshadowing.
Jesus Christ!
He would even attack you.
Shion finally noticed it. While Satoshi was covered in a blanket on the bed, there were 2 belts over that blanket, holding him down onto the bed. And that he also had leather straps around his arms. He was restrained to the bed. The belts had some marks on them.
But is he ever going to get better?
The silence that followed was cruel. Irie wanted to tell her that he would be cured, but he was a doctor. He knew he shouldn't say anything irresponsible, and so that was why he couldn't say anything.
What is it? The heck is it? Are you saying Satoshi-kun will never say anything anymore? He'll never rub my head ever again? Why? Why?
Shion cried as she pounded on the glass.
Stop. If you really care about him, please don't wake him up. That's what he wants too. If you wake him up, he will likely hurt you. He doesn't want you to see him like that either, so please, try to understand.
Why?
Shion slid down the window and hit the floor, crying uncontrollably. She scratched at the floor. The sad reunion in her anger made her claw at the tiles. If Satoshi's smile was there under the floor, Shion would scratch until all of her nails were gone. But Satoshi wasn't under the floor, he was right there. He was sleeping on the bed and he wasn't supposed to be woken up.
But there is some good news too. It was a very small change, but his brain waves have improved just a little in the past year. Human bodies are strong. The same can be said about the brains. I am a brain surgeon. I fucking operate on them for a living. It should be fine. There have been cases of people who received fatal injuries to their brain yet recovered completely. Satoshi-kun is trying very hard to come back. He's continuing to fight. I won't give up either. I'm doing my best to bring Satoshi-kun back to our side. And I will bring Satoshi-kun back to Hinamizawa.
The brain is what moves people, but the brain is only a part of a body. If something happens to a brain, the person will end up changing. That change hurts the person himself, as well as the people around him. And hurting others hurts that person even more. Irie recalled his parents. The abnormal change in his father. His mother was not able to understand that it was caused by a brain disorder. That was enough. That was sad enough. That was the reason why Irie became a neurologist. Right now, there was a young boy before him and a young girl. Before him was a fragment of the sadness from that day, a fragment of that day's regret. After his father's death, Irie learned that he was misunderstood and it was due to a brain disorder. But it was all too late by then. He regretted not getting into the study of brains 5 years earlier, but it was too late. But now he had studied and experienced so much, he had achieved things and he had confidence, but he still had regrets about that day. Irie holds his fist tightly and spoke without hiding his ears. Tears. I was caught off guard by the fact that the tense was saying that he was holding in like it was 2 tenses in one word, in one sentence. It was very strange.
I promise. I bet my life on it. I will bring Satoshi-kun.
Yeah.
I will bring Satoshi-kun back to Hinamizawa.
Never say anything irresponsible.
Don't do it.
I promise you, Satoshi-kun is trying to come back. If we reach out to each other, it will happen. Shion-san, please trust me and wait. I promise you, I will bring him back to Hinamizawa.
Irie vowed this from the bottom of his heart, and he realized something. Irie realized that everything he had done was in preparation for this day. The two people in front of him weren't his parents, but he was going to rid himself of his regrets and devote himself to that promise.
Really? Are you sure? Is Satoshi-kun coming back? Really?
Yeah, he is. I bet my life on it. He is coming back to Hinamizawa. So, I bet my life on it. He is coming back to Hinamizawa. So, Shion-san, please wait until that day, and we'll welcome him back together. Do you think you can wait until that day comes? Can you keep this a secret from Satoko-chan?
Yeah, if Satoshi-kun is coming back, I'll do anything. I'll endure anything.
Please, look over there.
There was something in the corner of that dark room.
Fucking teddy bear!
Yeah, it was! The giant teddy bear that Satoshi had bought that day. It's still there! All covered in germs. He worked so hard and saved a lot of money to buy that for Satoko-chan's birthday. Can you imagine Satoshi-kun leaving without giving it to Satoko-chan? No, you can't, can you? Satoshi-kun will come back to you when Satoko-chan with that big dumb teddy bear. Please, just wait until that day comes.
Can I come visit him, though?
Of course, of course.
Can I sit next to him and read a book to him? And
Absolutely. I'm sure he'd like that too.
Shion started to cry again. Nagasaki came in with Tomotaki Flash, but he couldn't say anything to her.
I'm glad you're safe. Once you call the Bloodhounds, everything will be over.
Well, it won't be that easy. That gunfight earlier destroyed the radio equipment in the security room. The mountain dogs must have cut all the communications leading out to the village, so the only way to get in touch with Tokyo would be to leave. What's the plan then, I guess? If that's the case, we'll have to break through in a car. Mion-san and the others doing a great job getting some time for us, but they will be cornered eventually. We have to take Tomotaki Flash-san out of the village so he can call the Bloodhounds. We have a problem. If they've already cut the phone lines, they must have closed the road to town too. They're also supposed to carry one high-explosive anti-tank weapon in case a vehicle tries to break through. An RPG-7, huh? They're not expecting a tank, so I guess they will be using high explosives. Even if they don't hit us directly, they might flip the car. They're not easy to deal with.
Unless we use the highway, it'd take too much time. We can't take any detours. They're all doing great, but I don't think they'll last until sunset. We have to hurry. We don't have any time to waste, huh? We've got to take Mr. Tomotaki to Okonomiya immediately. Coach, head to a safe place with Satoshi-kun. Let's get out of here quickly. It's only a matter of time before they show up.
Shion's eyes was swollen from crying, but she had calmed down. Satoshi's safety depended on their victory. They had to win for his sake too. Although this is a very sad situation, Satoshi was alive and he would be back someday. Shion understood that, but yet more tears poured from her eyes.
Sis, everyone, thank you. We've succeeded over here.
Get back to the action. Takano didn't have enough stamina to walk around the mountains. She was running out of breath, but even so, she continued to scream at the mountain dogs on the radio. She wasn't using an intercom like the mountain dogs were. Instead, she was using the communication unit on the back of one of the dogs, so he constantly had to listen to her yelling. I don't want to be that guy. That's like the worst job.
It is.
Damn, everyone is so useless. How can they call themselves a special unit? Whatever happened to the famous mountain dogs, huh?
Takano bit her lower lip and squeezed her left arm with her nails. Her arms had nail marks all over them. Oh no. She was holding her She was holding her grandfather's research scrapbook in her left hand in this battlefield. Even Takano didn't know why she was holding it. Maybe she grabbed it unconsciously because she wanted her grandfather to comfort her. But dead men tell no tales and also can't comfort you. The mountain dogs had already suffered devastating damage. They had to walk around an area they weren't familiar with, and they wasted their energy on the multitude of traps that had been set. Although they were as tough as they were, they are getting exhausted. I feel that. Shit, does the Major even know any commands other than attack?
Nightingale 1 to Nightingale 13. Watch out, your left wing is down. You're next.
That's a pun. You gotta be kidding me! Why me, damn it! He panicked! The same thing kept happening. His team members had been going down one at a time, starting from the left flank, and he was next. That mean that the enemy was coming from his 9 o'clock? No, those demons didn't think normally. On this mountain, being aware of 360 degrees around yourself wasn't enough. Even being cautious of the ground below your feet and sky above your head wasn't enough. I was going to say 360 implies that you're just looking at ground level, so it's more like 10,000 degrees. Where are they coming from?
That's not how 3D space works.
No, it is. Where are they fucking coming from? Those bastards, come here, come the fuck at me! Nightingale 13 held his taser in front of him as he looked around timidly. This taser could have been a powerful weapon that was far more effectively used indoors. On this mountain, it was almost worthless. You guys suck at your jobs. They don't have any long-range firearms, apparently, of any sort. Okay. Nightingale 13 heard a noise from behind a bush. Watch out. He thought he saw something, so he fired his taser. The electrodes flew out into the bush. Did he just imagine it? He felt a tug on his taser. The cord from his taser was stuck in the bush and he couldn't rewind it. So he had dragged into the bush. If it wasn't used as before, it had certainly become that way. Then he heard a noise behind him again, and this time he saw someone coming at him. But his weapon was useless. The newcomer growled at him. Oh! Ah, damn you! And that was all it took. Because he was so scared he didn't think. That was exactly what Sadako expected. Sadako, who was up in the tree, dropped a metal bucket on his stupid head. It landed perfectly. Oh, what the heck? What does this say? The bucket had some drawings on it. It said stupid Ed. There were drawings of strange unknown creatures. They somehow resembled those strange characters you see on educational TV programs. Thanks, Rico. Aren't they just so cute? Take it home with you. How? As Renna jumped out from another bush, he hit the bucket with a stick. Ruthless. No, maybe it should be described as a strike instead of a hit. The man flew backwards. Keiichi was ready for him as the 3 strikes were out. Keiichi was ready for him. The stance he was in looked a bit like, that's it. He looked like a batter in a batter's box. He was on 1 foot. That was the legendary 1 foot swing created by that one world famous baseball player. You know the one.
You know the one.
You know the one. Destructive force can't be measured from just one direction. It's a function of both speeds added together.
The word you're looking for is velocity.
Both Keiichi's strike and the speed of his opponent create a truly amazing destructive force. This is only 2 strikes, though.
Whoa, home run bunt!
With an exhilarating and magnificent sound, the mountain dog flew into the air in the opposite direction. Woo! Wouldn't that shatter your skull?
Probably.
Because you got the bucket on your head, but you're still hitting a man's head with a baseball bat at full speed. And he rolled down on the ground and stopped. There, Rika awaited him. It was almost as though they calculated that he would end up there. Almost as though. Oh, well, poor thing. Pat, meep, star. Rika patted the bucket happily. This comforting moment for Nightingale 13 only lasted for a second. Mion shot her taser in his butt. A lot of butt stuff happening at the finale of the story. I'm not sure that I approve. Nightingale 13...
You've only just noticed?
But there's like an inordinate amount. I don't know what's happening. Nightingale 13 jerked for a moment, then he went limp.
Another one down. Let's tie him up.
Keiichi and Renna jumped on him and tied his hands behind his back with wire. Oh, wow. Oh, that was great. What a team we are.
That was perfect. You should do combination 7 next.
I want to do 5 again.
Oh, you like that one, did you? You might have a hidden talent for using traps, Hanyu-san.
Aw. Hanyu and Sadako high-five because they're adorable. While Keiichi and Renna tied Nightingale 13 up. Rika tried to sense something in the air.
Meep, 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 meep. Bing. Oh, I feel something coming towards us from that direction. Meep, meep, meep. Oh, there are two. Oh, and they're both very scared. Nipasta.
Rika reported to Mion. She was a bit like a radar. Psychic radar. Mion didn't even care about the guy they had just knocked out. She was already trying to figure out their next move while looking at Sadako's map and using the Rika that Rika gave her.
That's right.
That's it. Using the Rika, she's trying to use the Rika effectively. Everyone eagerly aware of Mion's next order.
Why are you all looking at me that way? You haven't had enough fun yet? Yeah, I guess we're just getting warmed up, huh? Shall we continue? Let's get them all.
Oh shit. Yeah! Woo! Club boys, let's go! Mion was a great leader. She had both leadership skills and tactical ability, and a taser. But more than anything else, she was great at encouraging people's spirits. Because that's Mion's job, not Keiichi's job. There are no cowardly soldiers under a brave general, and brave soldiers fight like a million men under Mion's command. Nipa. Nobody could stop Mion and her club members. Both Mion and Okanogi's original estimates were too low. Now Okanogi was thinking something else. Before they started the siege, he likened one of them to a well-trained A-platoon, but that didn't fit anymore. They were on par with an elite armored division. Foot soldiers couldn't beat an armored division. What Okanogi had was just a company. Where was the air support or a bombardment from a warship or an artillery base?
Where was the European assassin?
Nowhere. Where was the helicopter ladder? Just the ladder. You don't even need the helicopter.
Yeah, it's just a ladder.
What you do is you build a trebuchet, you put a man with a ladder on his feet attached to it, and then you fling him through the air. See how that works.
Then he lands, splits the ladder in half, and walks on it like stilts.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. How would you walk on a ladder like stilts? They're made out of rope, not... I guess it depends on the kind of ladder. Sorry, I was thinking of like a rope ladder.
Oh,
I guess you were thinking like a metal ladder.
Well, I would have thought of a rope ladder from a helicopter. Once you remove the helicopter from the equation.
You're correct. Now that we've taken the helicopter out, it makes sense that it would be a metal ladder, and you could walk on those like stilts. It wouldn't be very comfortable though. Okanogi needed someone to pump the mountain full of holes. If he couldn't have that, he needed a submarine to fire a nuclear weapon. What you need is a fire base, my friend. You install 4 artillery pieces to fire 3 in addition in each direction, and 1 in the... Sorry, it's 5. You have 4 to fire each of the 4 cardinal directions, and 1 in the middle to just fire a shot up into the night air every night so that you can see if Charlie's trying to keep up on us. That's how you deploy a fire base. That's what we need.
I don't understand this
If
reference.
he couldn't have... It's a fire base. I learned about fire bases for a role-playing game that I ran once. And by that I mean once. It was only 1 session. Fire bases are cool, guys. Go look them up. If he couldn't have that, he wanted to retreat. They were both an offensive and defensive weapon. Very useful. Okanogi no longer doubted it. The enemy commander was a tactical genius and very, very attractive. Under a mighty commander, all soldiers become heroes. He wanted to see the face of the commander. At least he wanted to know their name. But then Okanogi remembered the demons used to live in Inamizawa. He also realized the commander had to be a demon. So you better not deal with that. This is Nightingale 13, I'm down.
Phoenix 4, I'm down.
Who's still up? It'd be easier to say who's still up. This is Skylark 10, I can hear the voices of children. I can hear the voices of children. They're coming for me! Ah, they're all tearing me apart with their little teeth! Ah! Skylark 10, fall back! Fall back! To where? Ah! They're eating me!
This is Phoenix 9! I found her, I'm following her, I need assistance!
Oh god, just take the shot. Phoenix 9, where are you? I don't know where you are! Give me your current location!
There's a fog!
What is this?
It's cold! Is this a riverbank?
What is this? Phoenix 9, there are no rivers anywhere near us. Calm down, where are you?
What? I can see my dead sister on the other side of the river! Sis!
Oh my god, what is this shit? Phoenix 9, answer me! Phoenix 9 is down! We've officially jumped the shark.
We really
We've
have.
officially.
This is impossible. They must be the demons of the mountain.
Yeah, it must be. They're all being demoned away. None of us are making it out of her alive.
Stop saying things like that! All unit leaders, conduct a roll call and give your members some encouragement. Our enemies aren't demons. They're just a bunch of damn kids. I think this is Okanogi.
Yeah, it has to be. Our enemies aren't demons. They're just a bunch of damn kids. Show what we got.
Not much, apparently.
Not much. So...
what is the fuck is going on?
I'm gonna guess Rena is laughing crazily. That's my only assumption.
By all means. I hear that. Whose intercom is that coming from? Not mine. It's not coming from mine.
A bear! Oh!
This is Phoenix 3. Are there wild bears here? That wasn't in the briefing. Phoenix 1, let's fall back. Give us approval to use firearms.
Yes, firearms. Oh my god. Don't be stupid. There are no wild bears around here. It's just them. Don't let them fool you. Oh my god. You foolish humans, know your sins for stepping onto this sacred ground. Be grateful for me, for I am giving you a chance to atone. Sorry, it's exhausting. Damn it, she has one of her intercoms. Don't let the enemy fool you. You fearless humans, if you can only learn by making mistakes, then I shall teach you.
This is Nightingale 1. Where is everyone? Where did you all go? Come in, come in.
I see a helpless bird getting lost in a forbidden forest. Do you want to know that badly? Do you want to know about the world of demons? Say goodbye to the world of humans, child of man. Curse your foolishness for not listening to my warning.
Ah!
Who was that? Nightingale roll call! So indulgent. One more down! Who was it? By the way, HQ, I have someone on my left, right. I'm gonna learn, am I? Oh. Do you want to hear more painful voices?
Yeah!
Oh. Got him. What was that? Well, what made that sound? I've seen someone jump in front of a train before. It made the exact same sound. That's the sound of a human body being crushed.
No, I don't want to die like that. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Please, God of the mountain, stop. I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because I get paid for it.
I mean, where's the lie, though? Nightingale 1 to base. This isn't working. Too many unit members are dropping out, and it's almost impossible to get in the fight. We can't maintain the battle line.
What line?
Morale is dropped. We gotta flee. We're just gonna lose more men. Calm down, Nightingale 1. The rest of our soldiers are all amateurs in the field. You graduated from that hell, so what are you doing getting shook up? Calm down and set an example. Oh, yeah.
Base, there's no response from Nightingale 1. I can't believe it, but he's down. This is impossible. They are demons.
Damn it. Our enemy is even using psychological warfare. Those damn punks are winning against their professional, unconventional warfare units. Radios are usually helpful communication. Here's another PSA from Ryukishi. Radios are usually helpful communication tools, but in this case, they backfired. The club members took an intercom from a mountain dog they knocked out and used it to corner the other members psychologically. Guess you couldn't have figured that out. It worked even more effectively because they were in enemy territory and were unfamiliar with the terrain. The best solution would be to make everyone stop using the intercom, but that would give the enemy more chances to attack them individually, which they were doing anyway, so it really wouldn't have made that much difference. Okanogi was growing fearful of the club members, as he still hadn't grasped their true identities. However, Takano still hadn't realized or recognized how serious their situation was. She kept yelling at the mountain dogs to get their stupid act together, stop acting like small children. Okanogi could tell she was exactly the type of commander who were only commanded to attack and let her men die, but Takano's reckless orders were working in a way. Although the club members were winning, their area of operation was getting smaller. We only have a finite number of traps. The club members were trying to lure their enemies to one trap area after another. In other words, they were defeating the mountain dogs by allowing them to come into their territory. The mountain dogs were about to be annihilated, but the curtains were closing on the club members' theater too. I like that. It's a good metaphor. Okanogi realized his enemies were trying to finish this battle in a hurry. If the mountain dogs fell back, everything they'd done for would be for nothing. He didn't want to, but he had to follow the princess's order. Okanogi figured he was finally about to get his enemies. And so what I did was I threw wave after wave of my own men at them. Hanyu and Keiichi continue to act over the commandeered radio. How? Well, that was great, Hanyu-chan. You sound like a real god or something.
Pause for effect.
Stop saying that. You could say that up to like any line
I know
in this story. You know that, right? Like this
that's
is
well, that's like the whole point of this arc. This is the pause for effect arc.
This is not even the arc. This chapter has been like pause.
Saying this chapter has become
this
meaningless.
This is the pause for effect arc. Yeah. It's become meaningless in how meaningful it's trying to be.
We are 5 hours into this one chapter.
I know. I'm getting exhausted. I'm losing my mind here.
I am as well.
I have become the bear god, so that's good. Is me on.
You really were awesome, Hanyu. I never thought a normal person could sound like that.
I get it from the best. That's because she is a god. Nipasta. Pause for effect. Oh, but Keiichi was great too. His scream was incredible, like someone was strangling a chicken.
That was easy for Keiichi-san, no? And our clubby is known as the magician of words.
True, he is.
Ew. As long as my opponent is a human being with ears, I can control him.
Sure. You should become a voice actor. I bet you'd be famous. You could start a YouTube channel.
Those two statements are contradictory.
I don't know what you're talking about. Did you know that could actually hurt your career? I don't know how deep I want to go on this, but there's this guy called Octopimp who's great.
Yes.
He does parodies of Free, which is a show about anime boys in their swimsuits and their lack of wearing shirts and their rippling muscles. But apparently, because he's got this like 20-part fucking amazing parody show on YouTube, whenever he's like, I could be a voice actor, like, but you did the weird anime boy thing.
I just about guarantee
he genuinely
you
like
that,
has problems.
Like, I don't know, in my experience doing like audio work, the only time that ever becomes a problem is if it's like the bulk of your, CV, right?
It is. That's the problem, right? He's with so much effort into it. But yeah, point is...
But that's changing anyway. Like, that's gone to the wayside and new media is getting more credibility
that's
like
very true.
day by day.
True. Point is, go be a homoerotic, but maybe not gay, possibly maybe anime boy, and just have a good time.
No.
Why not? You don't want to be one of the boys in
Can
Free.
you hear me? I am Takano. Major Takano.
Just living your best life.
I'm your boss's boss. Listen well, there is no god or demon, and if there is, then you can still fight. Drag God down from its pedestal. Skylark and Nightingale, join up and reorganize your forces. Phoenix, you join the remainder of Heron. The enemies are near the top of the mountain. Their base is probably somewhere by the Forestry Service's storage shed. They're at the top, so of course they could see our movements. But they'll be trying to ambush you, even if you have to stab each other. Make sure you take them out.
Even if you have to stab each other. What a really specific threat. You know what I'd like to see, actually? I'd like to see someone try to make a map of this mountain and what the hell... Like, because they've described, like, we move forward and we get pushed back and we move from left to right along the mountain line. Or we, like, I'd like to see someone...
description, you'd just be making it up.
I know you would, but, like, I'd like to see someone try to, like, create a realistic map of, like, this is where these traps were and this is where these traps were.
That is sort of so meaningless. I have no idea why you would be interested.
I'd like to see it because I'd like to see the attempts.
Here is exactly a hill with X's on it.
Yes! That's what I want to see. If somebody's done that, let me know on the internet. Let me know.
Just download
Post
a fucking
me
map
everything.
and start
Tweet
drawing
me.
crosses on it while Ben does his
Magus
lines.
Verborum on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's not true. I'm only on Twitter.
What a boring request.
Listen, what do you mean? Make a map for me? That's a boring request? Get out of life. Make me a cool map that's like, this is where all the club people was set up. Do that. Did you never like arrange army soldiers as a kid? It's like that kind of vibe. You never did that sort of thing?
I mean, I played like
It's
fucking
boring.
tabletop
You're boring.
games.
You're boring. Major, let us arm ourselves. We need more than tasers. You're boring.
Absolutely not. We finally surrounded them. If we fall back, they'll escape. We almost have our hands around their necks. We just have to squeeze them.
I don't know. That's what's happening. At the same
It's a new
time,
picture.
at the same time, Okanogi received another radio call. Using that line meant his caller didn't want Takano to hear the conversation. Okanogi understood the meaning of that, so he walked away from Takano and answered quietly.
Command vehicle to Phoenix 1, there's been an emergency. Research area of the clinic has been attacked. We received the intruder alarm from the entrance area, but it was turned off. Whoever turned it off didn't follow the false alarm procedure. We've been trying to confirm the situation, but there has been no response as yet. All the security unit members in the basement have gone quiet.
Okanogi understood everything. He had been fooled. He suspected a diversion, but he never even thought that the heavily armed security unit of the Mountain Dogs could be bested. If the enemies were soldiers in camouflage and he wouldn't have been fooled, he underestimated them because he thought they were kids. But now he really truly understood the real meaning of the story. He understood the reason why no adults had showed up in this battle on the mountain.
You know,
what?
I think the shotgun Tatsu mention was actually this chapter, just earlier, which was like 3 weeks ago for us.
I mean, he did talk about his shotgun a lot. I don't remember if he mentioned shotgun Tatsu, but he was like, I'm going to bring my shotgun because it's my favorite gun.
But couldn't remember where from.
I'm a bit sad he doesn't name his shotgun something like Big Bertha. You know,
he's trying to move on from it.
But that's dumb.
Too bad.
But he would have had a name for it when he used it, surely.
Well, he's probably retired that shotgun because he wants to retire that part of it.
You never retire a lady, is all I'm trying to say. I get it. Did you like Kaku in Tokyo, no?
Not yet. Would you like me to?
Do it now. Tomotaki Flash has escaped. We've closed the escape route, but I guess that's no use. They defeated even the armed security unit within seconds. I don't think one RPG could stop them.
Should we send reinforcements to the blockade team?
Fool! If we had any extra men, the princess would have already sent them in. Actually, you're the only one who isn't doing anything. Get in touch with the blockade team. Tell them to be prepared for a vehicle trying to break through the roadblock.
Roger.
There we go.
And then we cut.
Yeah, this is a good cutting between two parallel themes.
We'll be ready. Everyone listen up. I just found out the clinic has been attacked and the hostage has escaped.
Oh.
Enemy is expected to break through the blockade. Get the RPG ready. We'll fire at them all at once. We have permission to shoot.
One of the Mountain Dogs nodded and opened a narrow case in the trunk of the van. In that case was a powerful anti-tank weapon designated RPG-7. This was a weapon that many said changed the history of modern warfare, too. After all, this terrifying weapon had a firing range over several hundred meters and it was capable of burying most tanks in existence.
I don't think the sequel was out at this point.
I don't think so either, but I think Ryukishi was excited to play it at the time.
Probably.
It was probably like, man, Modern Warfare 2's coming out. Can't wait to see how Mr. Shepard continues his journey. Whatever his name was. Command, there was Price, and there was Soap. Mm-hmm. Was there a Shepard? I don't know if there was a Shepard in there, actually.
He only appeared in the sequel.
That's what I'm trying to... Shepard was the guy that betrays you at the end. Spoilers.
Whoa, spoilers! Yes.
That's the guy who they were like, this is when you crawl through the dirt and you knife him and you shoot him and eventually he dies.
Ghost is the one you're missing.
Yeah, Ghost is the other guy. The dawn of this weapon... Sorry. The dawn of this weapon meant that they were now in an age when a lone foot soldier possessed the firepower to destroy a tank. Shout out to World War II or 1. It was capable of reshaping the history of warfare. That was the RPG-7. Each of the other 4 members had an MP5, the weapon used to destroy the tire on Aria's car. There was no question the blockade team was well armed. But ideally, Kasai's fucking mafia car, of which he is a part of, you know, the real actual mafia that exists, will withstand MP5 rounds to the tires, hopefully. They waited in the van until the enemy vehicle showed up. Once they saw a suspicious vehicle, they were planning to stop it by moving into the middle of the road. They're intending on destroying that vehicle by firing all at once. They all watched very carefully for suspicious vehicles coming from Hinamizawa. This was the only road that connected Hinamizawa to Okonomiya. It would take more than half a day to get to there if they used a different route. Their blockade was where the gravel road changed to a paved road. It was what people called the village border and was their last chance to stop anyone from leaving. Hinamizawa was at a higher elevation from that point, so the vehicle would be coming downhill. They were probably expecting a barricade. So what you do is you put the car at the top of the hill and you push it and you put a hole in the fuel tank or whatever. You make a fuel trail and then you light it on fire and explode them all.
That's right.
That's how I do it in GTA. They were probably expecting a barricade as well as heavy resistance from the Mountain Dogs, so they're going to subvert that somehow. If they wanted to pass this point, the only way would be by force. They could start a gunfight, but that would take too much time. Since they didn't want to waste any, they should avoid unnecessary conflict. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Someone's stomach growled, but nobody made fun of it because they were very professional. That was understandable since all the members were... There's more typos than usual, I feel. Since all the members were getting ready for a battle, nobody even wanted to laugh. We looked at the clock.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. The weird like perspective shifts and like there have been several sentences that have had two like time tenses in the same sentence. It's getting messy. All I'm saying, whoever like translated this was getting just as exhausted as everybody else.
Yep.
We looked at the clock. It was almost noon. Of course we'd be getting hungry. At that time, they heard a noise. No, we heard a noise.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We heard a noise coming from
the direction of
Hinamizawa. Obviously, the car was going very fast. Here they come! The van moved to the middle of the road and stopped there. Some of them hid behind the van and some hid in the bushes on the side of the road. They pointed their guns at the suspicious vehicle coming towards them with probably a brick on the accelerator. The car must have been going very fast, but this was a straight road. No matter how fast it was going, it couldn't escape. That car happened to belong to Kasai. The shining black paint and the sound of the engine made it clear that it was a very nice car. It's about to get exploded. Wait until the last possible second. We can only fire once. Make sure to get them in one shot. The RPG-7 fires unguided rockets. Therefore, hitting a quickly moving target is extremely difficult. In this case, however, their target was straight ahead. If the car tried to swerve suddenly, it'd flip. If this was the case, it wasn't necessary to shoot directly at it. Besides, according to what Kasai said, its power could easily flip a car without a direct hit, but they didn't know that because Kasai didn't tell them that. Kasai told his team that. Even if there was only one chance to fire, the Mountain Dogs were definitely in an advantageous position. That's what Okanogi said at the start of this chapter.
That is.
Kasai, I guess. Tomataki Flash-san. A suspicious van is blocking the road. Please, stay low. Careful! Try to hit the nose of the van. Oh, I know. I've done this before. Whoa! The Mountain Dogs aimed at the vehicle. It was coming right for them. Not yet, not yet. Wait until it's within 100 meters.
I know, just range me.
The Mountain Dogs in the bushes laid in wait, ready to fire. They laid in wait. Don't question it. The rocket on the tip glinted eerily like it was waiting for its prey. 200 meters, 150. Prepare to fire. The soldier put his finger on the trigger of the RPG-7. Gun safety. Whoa!
No, it wasn't Kasai.
Halfway there. Hakasaka-san, prepare for impact. 100 meters, fire! What happened? Didn't the RPG-7 fire? That was when the one measuring the distance next to the shooter noticed something. The shooter's shoulder had been hit and he was tumbling to the ground. Shit, they had support. Was there a sniper? I didn't hear anything, so it must have been from over 400 meters away. Oh, that was somebody else.
Who cares? Fire, 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 fire.
Fire! Only their regular guns could stop the car now. The other Mountain Dogs fired all at once, but who could be the sniper? The car had been hit by a hail of bullets at close range. Any normal car would have been on fire in short order. But there was nothing. This wasn't a normal car.
It was a mafia car.
It's a mob car.
Of course it isn't. That's the Sonozaki family's specially made bulletproof limousine.
There you go.
Kasai. Spotter picked up the RPG. Don't let him fire.
Fucking Shion with the sniper rifle. Huh? Do you think I'm going to miss him at this distance? Oh, it's Kasai with a sniper rifle. Boo! I thought the anime girl would get to shoot someone. Shion and Kasai were far beyond their straight road. They were in the enemy's blind spot on the other side of the hill, on top of an abandoned car. Shion was on her knees, checking the Mountain Dogs' movements with a pair of military-grade high-power binoculars that they got from the US, I assume. Kasai was lying on top of the car with a sniper rifle in his hands. Shion figured this would be where the Mountain Dogs would place their ambush, so the only way for them to beat the dogs was to snipe at them with their big guns. Both Shion and Kasai took sniping lessons in the US during the damn conflict. Okay. Wasn't she like 10 back then?
Yes.
Okay. Kasai was now aiming at the man who picked up the RPG and was trying to take position with it.
I'll be entirely honest. It doesn't seem that weird to like, when you go to a gun range with your kid, satisfy your kid's desire to also shoot the guns by letting them at least spot for you.
We do know that Shion is a psychopath. So
yes, that too.
It all makes sense to me. I have no problems with this one. He's taking aim at the man who picked up the RPG. Hurry up, fire it! Fire it! Again, the RPG wasn't fired, it was down on the ground. The two who tried to shoot were with groaning and clutching at their wounds. They were both shot the soldier. Well, you know what they say, third time's the charm.
That's right.
The wounds wouldn't kill them, but they definitely couldn't fire that rocket unless, like, the wounds got infected and they, didn't get treated and stuff.
Well, it's a good thing they work at the hospital.
Yeah. The car had arrived. The Mountain Dog screamed and dove out of its way. Smash! Akasaka must have been used to driving in this kind of situation. He hit the nose of the van just right and broke through the blockade. The van was hurled away and spun in a circle. After them! Let's go! Let's go! Bam! Oh shit. They could have shot all of them. As the mountain dogs tried to get back in the van, Shion and Kasai shot at them.
I do love that we have this whole ordeal where Kasai comes in and he's like, oh, I don't wanna do shotgun Tatsu anymore. And then the next scene we have with him, he's fucking sniping people.
He's shooting people in the shoulder with great precision.
There's a delay between the impact and the sound of the gunshot. It's an extra long distance snipe.
An extra long distance snipe, you say?
He must be a veteran sniper.
Also a veteran spotter. Oh, they must know exactly where we are. Their aim is just too precise. They're just too good. The scope on a sniper, here we go. The scope on a sniper rifle was one made specifically for sniping. Did you know this, Felix?
Yes.
Therefore, its field of vision is so narrow that the sniper is unable to see their surroundings so well. That's why it's always necessary to pair it with a spotter. A spotter uses powerful binoculars to probe the situation and communicate information to the sniper. Snipers can't do their job alone. Their potential is unleashed only when paired up with a spotter equally as skilled. They tried to stand up and climb onto the van, but the ultra-velocity rifle bullets pinned them down. The bullets ripped through the air, traveling faster than the speed of sound. There you go. The noise those bullets created was nothing like the sound from a normal gun. It almost sounded like the Grim Reaper himself swinging down his scythe. That's what we know Kasai as. Furthermore, they could see the mountain dogs, but the dogs couldn't see them. Only those who actually had experience being sniped at could understand this fear. So I don't know, I can't understand it. We can't even go near the van, forget about us, just go!
Okay, we'll go after them.
There was a driver and one mountain dog in the van. They had to leave, otherwise it would be too late. The driver made a snap judgment and slammed on the gas pedal.
Are they after us?
Yes, they're after us. Boy, he drives well. He's catching up in that van.
That's worrying. Please fend them off.
Yeah, I'll leave it to you. Tomotaki Flash opened a window. What has he got now? What kind of weapon? Was he going to flash his camera at them?
Yes.
That'd be great. Tomotaki Flash opened a window near one of the back seats and leaned out. Hot air blew into the car. Though the car was jolting up and down on the bumpy road, he checked the mechanism of his camera calmly. He did it naturally, as though examining his favorite gun. There we go. The camera had been taken. The camera had been taken from one of the security guards in the basement. One of the dogs in the van held the same camera in his hands. Shit! Their weapons were evenly matched. The road was no longer straight. It curved like a snake. There were some bumps and sharp curves which made things in the car fly all over. A camera fight in this situation would be extremely difficult. Tomotaki Flash realized he'd run empty in no time if he wasted his film, so instead of firing recklessly, he carefully waited for the right distance, and in doing so tried to convince his enemy they were still out of range to make them close the gap. On the other hand, the mountain dog couldn't take it any longer. He flashed, wasting his film on the bumpy road. Some of those films hit the body of Kasai's car, making a nasty metallic noise. That's what it sounds like.
Tomotaki said it's not safe to lean out like that.
Don't worry. A photographer like that clumsy can't hit me.
You'd still say shooter.
No, a photographer that clumsy can't hit me. If he was my student, he would have to start all over. In a situation like this, it's safe to wait and see for a moment. We learn to predict our opponent's behavior and take a shot depending on that prediction. Don't try to shoot the target. Try to let the film find it, just like this. See, it's a pun on a film finder. See, it's a pun. It's a very clever pun. Tomotaki Flash fired for the first time after cautiously waiting for the perfect moment. Those who understood cameras would be fascinated with his photography form. Photography form. His stance was so firm he didn't lose control, even in the violent bursts of
shots.
Photos.
Shots is the correct term.
No, photos. Yet there was
Ben,
no one to throw
when there's a parallel of terminology this obvious, and you come here and waste it in front of me. You waste it in front of me.
No, photos. And just enough
Unbelievable.
slack. Despite being in such an anomalous position as laying out from a car, Tomotaki Flash was photographing very precisely.
I fucking hate you.
It was nothing like what the Mountain Dogs did earlier. He shot at just the right time. So his film went where it was supposed to go, into the chamber. I assume that's how film works. It was hard to believe they were using the same camera. Nasty metallic sounds etched themselves in the body of the van, which made the Mountain Dogs realize just how good Tomitaki Flash was at photography. Oh shit, he's a crazy good shot. Yeah, he isn't just some office worker from Tokyo.
I heard it once before. First Lieutenant Tomitaki was transferred to the offices after an accident. During his instructor years, he taught marksmanship for unconventional warfare units.
Oh, what are you saying? Are you saying he's... he got me!
Tomitaki Flash started to aim for the driver's seat to pressure them to give up. The Mountain Dogs could tell they were in a predicament. Tomitaki Flash was capable of capturing his targets easily, even on such a bad road. Furthermore, they were in a camera-proof limousine. There we go. While the Mountain Dogs were in just a regular, non-camera-proof van. The van, which incidentally was facing the limousine in pursuit. All his shots had just been warning ones. Unless the Mountain Dogs called off the chase, Tomitaki Flash would start shooting at them soon enough. It just feels wrong. They had no chance of winning. They had no chance. Phoenix 1 to pursuit vehicle. If the blockade was broken through, that's enough. Don't go too far. Tomitaki Flash is an expert cameraman. Don't throw away your lives.
What do we do? Can we let them go?
Roger, this is the pursuit vehicle. Abandoning pursuit, we're falling back. Ha 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 ha! Looks like they finally gave up. They're slowing down.
Ugh. Even after such a gunfight, you're still so calm. Bet you've gone through quite a bit, huh?
It's all thanks to my training.
Tomitaki Flash, having slid back into the car, raised his fists in victory. He was as easygoing as ever, even after a camera fight. Akasaka felt like he was finally getting to know Tomitaki Flash for the first time in forever.
Yes.
First Lieutenant Tomitaki Flash, I'm glad you're safe. We were so worried we couldn't get in touch with you.
Tomitaki Flash was making a call from a telephone booth at Cyber Economia. The phone lines around there were on a different network than the one the Mountain Dogs had sabotaged. That was why he could make the stupid call. Tomitaki Flash had called Tokyo immediately. He told Tokyo that there were some spies from the Mountain Dogs within Tokyo's research division, which is how they found out where he was. He also told them that he was captured but that he had escaped. He basically recapped the last arc.
Yes.
He told them that they were fooled by the diversion. They were on the mountain and stuff's happening. While he was captured, Mega Takano, the ringleader, had hinted at the existence of masterminds she was working for, etc.
Yes!
That
etc.
I like that it's there. It should have been earlier.
Yeah, it should have been way earlier.
He explained everything. I explained everything that he had learned thus far. Do you want to take this voice just while it's here? You might as well.
Sure. Wait.
It's just the guy that... Oh, actually, you're right. Maybe this is...
It's him.
Hold on. Is it Tomitaki or...
Yep, it's him.
Okay, it is. Okay.
Please take control of the Area Institute immediately. They've already fired repeatedly, and it will only be a matter of time before the villagers find something out. I urge you to give the command for the Bloodhounds to take action.
Hello, this is Oka from the Research Division. I'm glad you're safe. I don't remember who played him last time.
It doesn't matter. I don't remember him.
The Bloodhounds are already standing by in the air. In the air!
They're in the air!
Helicopters!
Whoa! Helicopters! Dogs! Here we go! Submachine guns. Let's go.
Approximately 30 kilometers south of Hinamiza. We've been requesting an order to move in, but the higher-ups are stubborn and don't want any problems, so they've been hesitating.
There's already
but
problems.
if you're safe, then that makes things simple. I'll tell them what you just told me now.
Well, show the place.
I'm sure they'll approve the operation immediately. The Bloodhounds will arrive within 30 minutes. I just got an arrest order for Major Takano and First Lieutenant Okanogi.
Shit.
We've also got orders to secure the Area Institute as well as to disarm the Mountain Dogs. All thanks to you. Great job.
Good on you, Tomitaki. You did all the work. Thank you. Tomitaki Flash walked out of the telephone box. Camera's still in hand.
Is everything settled?
Well, yes, the Bloodhounds are moving in. They're already standing by in the air and should arrive within 20 minutes.
That's not soon enough.
How powerful are they? These bloodhounds, that is.
The Mountain Dogs are a multi-purpose unit largely deployed to preserve secrecy, but the Bloodhounds are elite units specially trained to do battle. Both their skills and their equipment are far superior. Things will be taken care of very quickly.
Do you think that the club could take on the Bloodhounds? I think that's really the matchup that we need. because they're just wiping the floor with the mountain dogs. And the bloodhounds are easily, stronger than the bloodhounds are stronger than the mountain dog. Why are they both dogs? The bloodhounds are better than the mountain dogs.
Because we establish a rivalry by implying similarity.
I know that. That's stupid though.
Too bad.
Call them something different. Call them like the tigers.
No.
Or the wolves even. Because hounds and dogs is too close. But who's stronger? The bloodhounds or the club? We'll never know.
The bloodhounds.
We'll never know. I don't know that's true.
Because it doesn't sound like the bloodhounds would be fucking stupid enough to take tasers in.
So short range tasers in mountain territory, yeah. So stupid. Akasaka looked at his dumb spy watch. It was about 12:30. Time for a break. The bloodhounds would arrive in about 20 minutes. Akasaka remembered how hungry he was. It was lunchtime already. If he was brave enough, he would head to a noodle shop, and by the time he was done, everything would have ended for the mountain dogs who fought well into the last possible...
Fought well? They fought well?
For the mountain dogs who fought until the last possible moment, it was ending rather too soon. They were in an area where rice fields and a residential area mix. It was the border of Okonomiya. The sun was covered by a thin layer of silver clouds, and a cool breeze was blowing. It looked like it might even rain a little. To wash away people's sins. That's what water does.
Wow, that's so touching.
The symbolism. It's happening. The two of them couldn't even remember how many times their lives were threatened that day. They wanted nothing more than to let the rain soak their body. Wow, they're really okay. After a while, Akasaka spoke.
So what do you think, Toмотaki-san?
Oh, what do you mean?
I think I'll go back to Hinamizawa. They're still fighting.
Yeah, that's true. But are you sure? We are safe here.
Riki-chan is waiting for me. I haven't kept my promise yet.
One last hurrah. Okay then, let's go back. I actually have something to take care of too. I was thinking of going back anyway. Akasaka-san, have you been on a helicopter before? Have you dangled upside down from a rope with submachine gun in hand? I have a permit for just such a thing. They watched the breeze blowing over the rice fields for a while, then returned to the blood-ridden car. The car started up quickly, and then they drove it back the way they came. It was only high noon. There was still plenty of time before the Water Nagashi Festival began. And we know what the Water Nagashi Festival represents.
Washing your laundry away.
Yeah, washing, you wash some cotton balls and it makes them nice and good for the next year when you have to wash them again.
That's right.
Yeah. Clouds covered the sky and it suddenly grew cool. It was going to rain a bit, according to Okanogi's intuition. We know how he is about underestimating things.
That's right.
I assume that's where this is going. He already knew that their enemy had broken through the blockade, but he hadn't told Takano about it. By then, it really didn't make any difference if she knew or not, and he also wanted to reach the top of the mountain. What a selfish fucker. Okanogi was only thinking about one thing. He was thinking about the enemy's commander, who made the day so horrible for him. He just couldn't accept his defeat until he saw the enemy commander face to face. The battle was already lost. They just had a princess who didn't think they had yet. With the rest of the mountain dogs fallen to the traps and ambushes, Okanogi had ordered all units except his own to fall back from the front line and into the vehicles. Into the vehicles! The only ones left to go on were the very determined princess, Okanogi himself, and a handful of exhausted members of the mountain dogs who could barely walk because they had their spine shattered. They're crippled for life. I hope you're okay with that, club members, for crippling people for life. Eventually, the slope became a little bit more gentle. Okanogi and his companions finally arrived at the storage shack of the Forest Service. The club members were already aware that the mountain dogs had been almost totally annihilated. Both the numbers and strength of the dogs had fallen far below that of the club members. Therefore, when Okanogi saw his opponents lined up there to welcome them, he wasn't surprised. It was all the kids who'd driven the mountain dogs to destruction that entire day. They had also fought with everything they had. Though they overwhelmed us from start to finish. They overwhelmed us from start to finish. They had used up all their stamina while on their last legs as well. Still, their willpower kept them standing. A will born of the victor's honor, which God granted only to the winners.
There she is. It's our Okanogi, capture her.
Major, how can you even say that to us under these circumstances?
What? You disobeying my order?
Oh, no. I have no intention of doing that. Okanogi removed his communication unit, his taser, and all the heavy equipment he had been carrying. Then he unbuttoned his shirt and told his men to stay put as he stepped forward. He strode forward about half of the distance towards the club members. I'm Okanogi, also known as Phoenix One of the Mountain Dogs. I'm here to pay my respects to your leader. Can I have their name? The club members looked at each other. One of them was a girl taller than the others. She couldn't be that old, but her hawk-like eyes were as sharp as a veteran soldier's. Okanogi didn't know her circumstances, but only those whose lives were threatened on a daily basis had eyes like that.
How the fuck does Okanogi not know Mion Sonozaki?
He doesn't know who she is. It's impossible. They've only been surveilling the place for several years now. He doesn't know who the heir to the most powerful crime family is.
All we've discovered this entire time is that Takano has wasted hundreds of millions of dollars on scam artists.
The best part is that, like, it's not just, like, you know, a covert operatives unit. It's like they're an intelligence unit.
Yeah.
It's literally their title is we are the intelligence unit. And they don't seem to know anything.
No. Their title is unconventional warfare. And by unconventional, they seem to mean just
terrible.
Incoherent.
Yes. They don't know anything useful. They can't deal with I think 8-year-olds traps. They know nothing about the terrain that they're fighting in. They don't have any good equipment. And all of their leadership is terrible, just in general.
I don't mind any of that. Except for the fact that Okanogi leads this unit, and it makes me feel less engaged with him being a presence in Other When They Cry titles.
Spoilers! Are you telling me that Okanogi's
in the fucking trailer?
Are you telling me that he's in Other When They Cry titles? He's some kind of godlike being who ascends reality?
Literally the first character to appear on screen.
I know, it's great. In Kikonia.
In Kikonia.
But not in Umineko. He's like the, 23rd maybe. I should be able to figure that out. I think that was 22nd or 23rd. Someone let me know in the comments. I can't do the math.
What, the century?
No, character.
Character.
He's like the 22nd or 23rd character to appear on screen.
Oh, right.
In Umineko.
Right.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okanogi didn't know her circumstances, but she's a fucked up kid.
That's right.
That's what we learn.
I'm the leader of this club. My name is Mion Sonozaki.
The girl stepped forward. How old are you? Now, your age doesn't matter. From the turmoil at the police station this morning to the battle on the mountain, we're responsible for all that. The girl didn't answer, but her silence confirmed it more strongly than anything she could have said. You've won this battle. Our princess is the only one who can't understand that. There's nothing else we can do at this point. Tomitaki Flash broke through the blockade. I'm sure he's already called Tokyo. I don't know where the suppression unit will arrive, but it's just a matter of time, I'm sure. If you want to laugh, go right ahead.
Okanogi, what are you doing? Does the enemy commander take her down?
Don't pay any attention to her.
What do you want?
You're a leader, and so am I. You understand, don't you?
Is he surrendering?
I can understand. He was in charge of the whole army, and all his men are down, so he can't just nod his head and accept defeat. So, the defeated general can only requite himself by sacrificing himself, huh?
Fine. Do what you need to satisfy yourself.
I appreciate it. Mion took a stance. Okanogi took a stance too. Although Okanogi was nothing like Agasaka, he was still a close combat specialist. Even when exhausted, there was no way Mion could defeat him. Takano thought so too, so she thought Mion was underestimating Okanogi. Mion knew. She knew that she was the only one who could put him at ease. Are you ready? Take this! Okanogi readied, launched sharp from his waist, but Mion deflected it to the side with her elbow, wrapped her arm around underneath it, wrenching it back behind him and forced it up into a hold, and then she twisted his arm even further. Okanogi was certain she was going to snap a bone. It was an excellent technique. She took his arm in one flowing motion. It was clear that Mion's self-defense techniques won't spur the moment. However, she didn't break Okanogi's arm, but instead threw him onto the ground. She didn't deliver the final blow, but rather chose to look down upon him. Not bad, eh?
Takano, what are you doing? Hurry up and subdue her.
Shut up! You just shut up and watch. This is a battle between leaders and men. Okanogi got up quickly, took a stance once again, and then swung his arm down. But Mion avoided it effortlessly, and just like she did before, she grabbed his arm and turned it around. They were in the same position as before.
Well,
He's not learning from his mistakes.
No, he really isn't.
It's almost like that's a thing that he does in this entire story.
How can you be considered a close combat specialist when you cannot appreciate the most important feature of close combat? It's that if you do the same thing twice,
it's gonna happen again.
It's gonna fucking happen again.
And just like what happened then, she didn't break his arm, but threw him onto the ground and looked down on him. That's right, it's mostly for show anyway. A rotation throw, huh? The way you move, it's not the Yoshin-kan technique, is it? It's that classic Kobukan one, huh? By the way, when you take your opponent's arm, you can knee him in the face if you want.
I see. I'll try that next time.
He's just trying to, like, learn the move. Who's this?
There's no honorific.
It's probably Rico, I guess. Yeah. Oh, wow. Mio's incredible. She's actually staying toe-to-toe with their commander.
Okanogi, use your weapons. What do you think you're doing?
Here I come! Ah! He had a stronger drive this time. He tried to kick right through her from a step and a half away. Yet this time, Mion stepped in to launch her own attack, jumping right toward the foot, trying hard to kick her. Mion kept herself low as she entered close range with Okanogi, shutting out his leg trying to kick her. So of course he went after her head. Okanogi raised his right arm to elbow her in the skull, but this time Mion rose up using both hands to keep his arm from swinging down. Unlike the flowing motions from earlier, this was simply a contest of strength. His physique was overwhelmingly superior to hers, so she couldn't win that test of strength. But suddenly Mion let go and allowed Okanogi's elbow to come down. Then she stepped to the side. It's another repeat of before! Okanogi's arm was held to his back and he ended up in the same position. But what came after was different. Okanogi's face lowered as Mion lifted his arm up high, and then she swiftly brought her knee into his face. It was exactly the technique that Okanogi told her about just earlier. And once again, he was down on the ground. That's it? You learn quickly, don't you? Strategies, tactic, and combat. You already have everything you need to be an effective commander. You should have been in my position. You should have been the one to lead those shitty mountain dogs.
Sorry. Never want to be the leader of a shady unit like yours.
Mion scoffed. Okanogi took it with a smile too. He wasn't trying to be humble, it was just his pure reaction. You're right. You shouldn't waste your talent on Japanese unconventional warfare units. I bet you could lead in the SAS, Delta, Spetsnaz. Whichever you join, you'd be one of their best.
Yes, because I'm sure they'd let you in.
Yeah, that's how it works. Be from Japan and all. In any case.
SAS, Delta Force, lame. Well, that is just way too boring.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. Then tell me, what kind of folks do you want to be CO for?
I'm not interested in being in charge of any units at all. Being a leader's fine.
A leader? The leader of the British Intelligence Service, huh? That's fitting.
No. Listen, there's only one club I want to lead. That's the club in our Hinamizawa branch school. Not interested in games without penalties. The Magician of Words, Keiichi Maebara, Seeker of all things adorable and cute Rena Ryuku, Trapmaster Satoko, and the charming Enticer Rika-chan. And last but not least, our newcomer, Hanyu Furude. I'll never find anything more fun than playing with them, even if I search this entire world.
Oh. No wonder we couldn't win. With her as their leader, there was no way we could have won.
Okanogi, get a hold of yourself.
Takano yelled at him, but Okanogi didn't hear it. We've finished with the warm-up. This next one's for real. You're gonna die. Be ready for that.
Come on, I'll give you a fitting end. Something you've been waiting for all this time.
I have been waiting for the end of this chapter for a very long time, Ryukishi.
It's alright. We'll take a break at some point. Good enough. Here I come. Okanogi took about 5 steps backwards and breathed deep. His body twisted as he gathered all his spirit into his right fist. Just as he said, this next attack would be for real, the real one. He was putting everything he had into this one final blow. Mion narrowed her eyes, preparing to parry the blow with her side. The sky began to stir. They both felt raindrops on their foreheads. Here I go. I'm gonna kill you. So come get me, okay?
Whenever you're done praying, go right ahead.
Oh, shit. That one tense moment was suddenly brought to an end. Enemy! He dashed forward from a low position, just like a runner from a starting line. Then he added the twist from his body into the blow as his right arm roared with all of his power. A bolt of lightning punctuated that moment in time, burning the moment into our eyes. In that moment, Mion's stance hadn't changed at all. Now, maybe she moved like lightning in the moment it struck. We had to recall the moment burned into our eyes to review the scene. Okanogi had swung his right fist, which had enough power to shatter Mion's bones. So what if 100% of his power was directed back at him in a counterattack?
Oh no, not fight math.
Here we
not
go,
now.
it's beginning!
Not
it's
now,
beginning!
Ryukishi.
When the lightning struck, Okanogi's body had been flying through the air. It was a legendary technique in Japanese martial arts, passed down in judo and aikido, the air throw. It looks as if one is being thrown without his opponent even touching him. A miraculous technique that occurs at lightning speed. That's why there's lightning, you get it? Of all the techniques Mion possessed, it was the most sublime advanced technique she could administer on the defeated General Okanogi. The feeling of freedom while flying in the air is more memorable than the impact of hitting the ground. When Okanogi hit the ground behind Mion, a heavy rain suddenly began to fall. And just as it did, a massive helicopter swinging a rope from itself appeared from the other side of the mountain. The helicopter's rotors stirred up the air and blew away the raindrops like in a tornado. The rotor sounded much like a tornado too. A rope uncoiled from the rear. Here it comes.
Here it comes.
It's the moment. It's happening. A rope uncoiled from the rear of the helicopter, and soldiers came sliding down it, one after another. The onlookers were stunned for a moment before realizing what they were seeing. It was the Bloodhounds. The Bloodhounds that Tomotaki Flash had called in. Having realized how bad the situation had become, I know I'm waiting for it, Okanogi returned to the other members of the Mountain Dogs. Nothing was going their way anymore. The Mountain Dogs ran down the slope and disappeared into the woods. They dragged Takano with them, who couldn't understand what was going on. A voice echoed from a speaker attached to another helicopter circling around the mountain. To all staff of the Erie Institute, today at 12:30 p.m. Whatever. The Institute's independent authority was frozen and is now under the control of the Bloodhounds. As of the same moment, HQ has ordered complete disarmament of all Erie Institute staff. All Mountain Dogs to disarm themselves immediately and gather at the parking lot of the Erie Clinic or at the storage shack at the top of the mountain. Failure to respond accordingly will result in disciplinary action under not only civilian law but under self-defense force rules as well. Bloodhound members continue to slide down the rope from the helicopter. How many men they got in there? It's like a clown car.
Dude, fucking Chinook there can have just hold heaps of people. They have like 50 people in those things.
50? Damn. Even at a glance, they were very different from the Mountain Dogs.
Those things are fucking big, dude.
I've never seen one.
They're enormous.
The helicopters, the ones like these I'm familiar with hold like 20 people. I've never seen a 50-person one. They were armed more heavily, and the guns they had were much bigger, therefore they were better.
That's right.
Such things clearly differentiated the two units.
Which helicopters like this have you seen?
I don't know. I don't know what they're called.
Like the twin rotor ones?
Let me tell you. Yeah, I think so. I have been playing, even today, Half-Life 1, specifically the Black Mesa remake, and there are many scenes where Marines rappel down from helicopters, and there's usually only like 6 at a time to make the game, balanced and playable. There's lots of scenes where like the Marines will drop in units and then the aliens will bomb them and move their own units in, and then like a tank will come out and the aliens like swarm the tank, and then they it's good fun. No. Point is, I've never seen one that holds 50 people.
Helicopters, you've never seen a Chinook?
I don't know. I've probably seen a Chinook before, but I've never seen 50 people drop out of a helicopter.
No, these things are fucking huge, dude. Even like a Black Hawk. Like a Black Hawk, that thing can fucking fit like 30 people. Like tightly packed, admittedly, but still.
Yeah.
Like,
look, I've seen the like World War II movies where they have like 20 people in them.
Yeah.
But I've never seen 50. 50 is a number that I'm not.
you can probably fit more in one. You can fit a fucking boat in one of these.
Yeah, sure. Such things clearly differentiate the two units.
Does this mean that we have won?
Maybe.
I don't know. I've never seen this before, so I don't know if we really did.
I mean, if it's different, it's probably good. Sadako and Rika sat down and they hugged each other like they're adorable. They were both soaked in rain, but they still sat down in the mud. You're gonna ruin your dress. No. Mion stood solemnly in the rain as the leader of the winning team. Solemnly.
That's right.
It's terrible. The Mountain Dogs had abandoned this needs another pass, guys. Come on.
It really does.
The Mountain Dogs had abandoned the field. They all ran away with their tails between their legs. Keiichi and Rena ran over to Mion.
Mion.
Mi-chan.
It's over.
Yeah, our club activity is over.
Rika-chan is safe. Everyone else is safe. Mi-chan. It's our victory.
You led us this far, Mion. It's all thanks to you.
But Mion didn't seem to be listening to Keiichi and Rena. Instead, she mumbled to herself.
I like punishments.
What? I'm sorry?
Club activities can be cruel, huh? We fight to decide who's the loser. So that means everyone looks down on whoever loses, right?
I just wish they'd tell us who this is. I want to say Rena.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't look down on anyone. We just do the punishment and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do the punishments and that's it. We all enjoy laughing at the loser and then forget about it. That's why I like what we do. We all laugh, including the one who came in last.
No. Nobody gets hurt. We all laugh and then we're done with it.
That Okinogi guy. Thought he couldn't purify his sins unless he was defeated by me. I mean, sure, it got pretty serious. We were almost killed too, but it's all over, right?
Huh?
The game is over. Even though it is, there's no punishment for the Mountain Dogs.
But who's the loser? Mion might have realized something when she threw a Konogi. Keiichi didn't think anybody else could understand that.
I don't know what you're trying to say, Mion. Forget about it. It's all over for them anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Everything's all over now.
We're all alive, nobody got seriously hurt, so let's enjoy our happy ending.
That's right. Nobody got hurt. Really is a happy ending.
While they hadn't yet confirmed Shion and Kasai's safety, they were correct. This was the happy ending that they had all been fighting for. However, Mion was still thinking. She only understood the reason for that in the moment the thunder struck. Because we got metaphors and foreshadowing and shit. But as soon as the flash of the lightning disappeared, her understanding vanished as well. All she could remember was that she noticed something very important, and that shortly after she completely forgot about it. She could only feel a great sense of loss. The Bloodhounds soon surrounded the club members.
I'm actually very confused by that line.
We'll get there, don't you worry about it. At first, they thought the club members were their enemies, but then Tomotaki Flash appeared. He explained the whole situation, and nothing was confused. There was communication, you might say, between the two groups. The commander of the Bloodhounds appeared to beg the club members not to say a word about anything, as it was a politically sensitive incident. It was amusing to see a man like that beg while carrying all his weapons when they could have just shot them. Of course, they had no intention of talking to anyone about it. Once it had ended, it all felt like a bad dream. Or if on the following day, someone asked them what they had been doing, they might not even remember it. That this day was that unrealistic for them. I mean, it's like 12:30, you know? Like, It's only been a couple of hours. You're not even half the day's gone. So even if they were asked, they wouldn't say a word.
Rika-chan, I'm glad you're safe.
Akisaka! Oh, I'm glad you're safe too. Meep, meep, meep.
It all worked out great too. Are you alright? The clinic has been occupied by the watchdogs. Non-dogs are all surrendering too. Dr. Irene, a boy who was hiding, had been put under the Bloodhound's protection as well.
Kirsch is safe too, is he? I'm very glad about that. Wait, a boy? Oh, I do wonder who that could be. Perhaps Tomada-san or Okamura-san were injured.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Satoko, I'm very happy for you.
Rika's smile made it clear on what she had gone through. Someone could only smile like that after a long and exhausting struggle of 100 years. Sadako had no idea what that smile meant, how much time would be needed to make her understand. Still, Eri will do something about it, for certain.
He will bring Sadako's Nini back home.
Scene. Fuck.
That's right, Sadako. You haven't taken your shot today, have you? You can't forget about that.
Quite true. How troublesome that I can't forget about the shot even in this situation.
Sadako seemed to have no idea that her medication was connected to the syndrome. Why are we still explaining this? Alright, perhaps she was already aware but pretended not to be. Rika vowed to herself that no matter how long it took, she was going to witness with her own eyes the moment her best friend finally parted with her tragic past.
At least I only need to take the shot twice a day. It was 3 times for the previous one.
That means she's getting better, or they're developing stronger drugs, either one. Sadako also had no idea that Satoshi was involved in the development of her medication. Irie had said that Satoshi as a specimen had contributed much to Sadako's treatment. Even while asleep, Satoshi longed to ease the burden on Sadako, and those feelings must have influenced Sadako's medicine, somehow.
It's just like they were saying in the fragments where it's all about the heart behind the medicine.
It's true. It's about love. Sadako had to inject herself in the stomach. For privacy, she ran into the grove of trees to give herself a shot, all on her own. There was no danger in her doing so. One after another, the bloodhounds dropped down from the helicopters. I'm sure it'll be fine. She's just off on her own for a couple minutes. Nothing could happen in that period of time. Each helicopter must have carried at least 20 to 30 soldiers. There was one helicopter at the top of the mountain and 2 more halfway down the slope. Troops were pouring down from all... That's so many soldiers. Troops were pouring down from all of them, leading to the impression that the entire mountain was under the bloodhounds' control. Nobody fired their weapons even once. The mountain dogs had no choice but to surrender. It wasn't raining hard at all. The sky should clear up after 20 or 30 minutes. It was the volatile weather typical of early summer. It was only natural. Sadako soon returned and spoke to her best friend.
Rika, I haven't seen Hanyu-san around. She was here a moment ago.
Where'd she go? Huh?
Hanyu? Hanyu? Where are you, Hanyu?
Oh shit. It's Takano.
It was stupid of me to think that Tokyo had sent more support. They're acting as if they've known of their loss for a while now. I was the only one who didn't know. What's going on? Tell me this minute, Okanogi.
This is it. They're the Bloodhounds. Tomitaki Flash called them in.
The Bloodhounds? I've heard the name before, but aren't they similar to the Mountain Dogs? Why aren't you fighting back?
You gotta be kidding me. We Mountain Dogs are simply a counterintelligence unit. On the other hand, the Bloodhounds are a real combat battalion. There's no way we can defeat them. The remaining 3
Looked at me in exhaustion.
members was the word though.
Why are they here in the first place? We captured Tomitaki.
Flash.
Are there more spies? Who are they?
Major, the clinic was attacked earlier. Haven't you heard that First Lieutenant Tomitaki Flash escaped? One of the 3 spoke up timidly, but Okanogi singled him to shut up.
Nobody told me this. When did that happen? What's going on, Okanogi? Wasn't there a blockade exactly so they couldn't escape the village?
Well, yeah.
They aren't even responding to me anymore. I've been left behind. I'm the only one who didn't know. I'm being left out. The members looked at Okanogi, waiting for his command. Nobody is waiting for my order. Nobody even cares about my orders.
You were never in control. Commander, there's a radio call from the command vehicle.
One of the members handed the intercom to Okanogi.
This is Phoenix 1.
Commander, final orders from Kaku. Execute Kaku.
Kaku, roger that. Wait. Oh, God.
I assume this is him.
This is Okanogi. Who was just then? Who was...
He's relaying the information, I assume.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's keep going. I'm at that point. The Bloodhounds have us surrounded. We're being advised to surrender. What should we do? What is happening? Who's speaking?
Okay. It's the guy in the command vehicle continuing and then Okanogi.
Okay.
Bloodhounds have us surrounded. We're being advised to surrender. What should we do?
Command vehicle, no. Ota and Adachi, good work. You're clear to surrender. Disarm yourselves and follow the orders of the Bloodhounds.
Roger that, Commander.
There we go. He is the commander now. All units, listen up. The command vehicle has been compromised. The clinic is probably in the enemy's hands as well. We've lost all our backup as well as equipment. All teams have been wiped out. I'm sure everyone is disarming themselves. The mountain dogs have been completely defeated.
Not yet. Get in touch with Nomura-san in Tokyo. The Bloodhound, so what? She'll send in a unit who can beat them immediately. Are is still alive. We can activate the final operation. I must let Nomura-san know that. We have to restore communications with Tokyo. Really shouldn't have cut the telephone connections, but we did, so we'll have to recover the command vehicle. We'll get in touch with Tokyo on the radio. Fortunately, the men in the command vehicle surrendered without resistance, so I'm sure the Bloodhound's guard is down. Okanogi, you and the other three will be enough. It's still the 19th of June. The operation starts on the 21st, or is it supposed to be the 22nd?
Oh.
We still have time. We'll manage, Okanogi. Go recover the command vehicle immediately. Why can't you follow my orders? I'm a major. I'm your superior. Why are you listening to Okanogi but not me?
Plus you paid them. Major, didn't you hear what the helicopter said earlier? We've lost. There is absolutely nothing we can do anymore.
What are you saying, Okanogi? Are you already giving up? You saw that R is alive, didn't you? What happened today was all because of the rumor that R was dead, but she's alive. That means today didn't happen. We can still use the emergency manual as long as the Queen Carrier is alive. All we have to do is kill her, and we'll have 48 hours to execute the manual.
Major, it's far beyond that point already. Tokyo doesn't care about the Queen Carrier or the 48 hours after death. Our final operation is a complete failure. Our clients must be running around desperately trying to destroy evidence. Our job here is done. I commandeered the mountain dogs for about 10...
Accurate.
Yeah. I commanded the mountain dogs for about 10 years. It was a valuable experience, but it's all over today. And Major, your job is over too.
What? What do you mean my job is over? What are you talking about?
Major, your job was to rear that scrapbook in your hands.
What are you talking about? I didn't expect Okanogi to start talking about my grandfather's scrapbook.
I don't doubt that there is a disease called Hinamizawa syndrome, but the whole village going into a panic 48 hours after the queen dies? No one's ever seen that happen. Nobody knows if that's true or not.
Don't be ridiculous. Look here. It's somewhere in here. Where? I know it's in here. From the studies of the other similar parasites in brains that the statistics say... Damn it, where is it? Ah! I flipped through the pages of the scrapbook in a panic. Can't even remember which page I'm looking for.
Oh no, she scrambled. No!
Okanogi slapped the scrapbook aside and it thudded. Now it landed in a muddy puddle, so it splashed onto the ground. The open pages of the scrapbook were face down in the muddy water, already turning color as they soaked up the mud. What are you doing? It's the most important...
Damn
As
girl.
I crouched down to pick up the scrapbook, Okanogi stepped on it.
It's just like her grandfather!
Oh, goodness.
It's happening!
The splash of the muddy water hit me in the face. I had to witness my precious scrapbook being stepped on and covered in filth.
Major, I don't really care if what's in this scrapbook is true or false. As a matter of fact, nobody does.
What do you mean by that? I tried to get the scrapbook from under Okanogi's foot, but I couldn't pull it out.
Clients in Tokyo merely wanted to see how many people would actually believe what's in that scrapbook. They didn't even care if it was the truth or lies, as long as it was believable.
They didn't care?
No, they didn't. They just wanted some famous doctors to research the subject and come up with a report full of difficult terminology so they could deceive people. That was your job.
No, this isn't a lie. My grandfather and I researched it for so many years. Come on, move your foot.
Oh.
The scrapbook is getting soaked through. I'm trying my best so that it's not ruined, but it's no use. This is why you always keep a backup.
It's true. I don't know why, that was the whole point, is that she was like, why did I even bring the original scrapbook with me? It was so this thing could happen, spoiler alert, but
Obviously.
Defense mechanisms, psychological warfare. The queen dies and the village must be killed. All you had to do was convince the higher-ups of that crazy story. Nobody cared about parasites to begin with. They only cared if it could be used for political gain. You knew that, didn't you? Didn't you? And at this point, nobody will ever pay attention to any of that nonsense again. A lot of people bet on this scrapbook and they lost. The mountain dogs lost too. That's all there is to it.
This isn't nonsense. The scrapbook holds the truth. Everything in it is the truth. My grandpa researched it, I researched it, and this is the result. Everyone believed in it. That's why they built such a beautiful research center, isn't it? They believed in it, and that is why Nomura-san got in touch with me. There must be some other people who will believe in my work, because all of this is for the future of humankind. Ah! Okanogi got fed up and kicked me.
Damn!
I don't weigh much, so I fell backwards and became soaked in the muddy water. Okanogi walked over and looked down at me.
Fortunately, there's still something the clients in Tokyo are expecting from you. Hey.
One of the mountain dogs handed a gun to Okanogi. Okanogi checked the cylinder and threw it over to me. What is this?
Major, why don't you use that to shoot yourself in the head?
What? I looked at the gun. I'm used to seeing guns working at the Irie Institute as I do. I was never frightened by guns before, but for the first time I feel scared just looking at one.
You know, this happens all the time, Major. Please, take responsibility as the leader of the defeated force and shoot yourself.
What are you saying? Nobody's ever told me to die before. Nobody's ever told me to kill myself.
If you die, the clients can just blame you for everything. Actually, the Tokyo is already preparing to do that.
Don't be ridiculous. Why should I have to do that? Huh? I'm starting to sob. My body is shaking all over.
Well, you don't have to do it yourself if you don't want to. Maybe that's too much to ask of you right now.
Okanogi pulled his gun out and pointed it at me. The other members, having realized everything will work out if I die, just looked at me coldly.
I'm going to say that I tried to talk you into surrendering, but you refused. We shot at each other, and I had to kill you. That's the scenario, right? I gave you the gun so that you could kill yourself rather than being killed by me. It's to show my appreciation for the time that we've known each other.
I don't want it to end like that. No. Who came up with this plan in the first place? I don't want this.
It was your dearest friend, Nomura-san from Tokyo.
Uh-huh.
They had a plan for damage control in case the final operation failed. Nomura-san's code name is Kaku, and yours is Baby Bird, isn't it? Do you know where Kakus lay their eggs?
What?
Kakus lay their eggs in other birds' nests. Once they hatch, they kill the young of the original owner by pushing them out of the nest, and they take it over. The baby birds on the ground are left helpless, and they usually end up eaten by mountain dogs.
Oh my goodness,
How
it's come
savage!
full circle.
Savage!
I used the money I got from Uncle Koizumi to pay the mountain dogs, thinking I had gained a reliable ally. I always thought that, although Okanogi was barbaric, he was very reliable. He is very reliable, just not to you.
You can always trust a dishonest man to be dishonest or something.
Oh wow, what a great quote.
That's
from
a pretty good quote.
Great movie.
From a very obscure movie with
film.
very obscure, actors in that movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
But my nest had been taken over.
Oh no, not your nest. Major, you never had any allies to begin with. All you had to do was exactly what the clients in Tokyo wanted you to, but now it is over. Now you need to exit the stage. Take it. It's your precious scrapbook. Hold that in your left hand and pick up the gun with your right. The scrapbook was finally returned
to me, covered in mud. I held it with both hands and cried. What a joke the entire life of Mio Takano was. Right now is when I should just go back inside that chain link fence.
Oof.
My shaking hands held the ice-cold gun.
It's all wet and stuff too. Gross. There's only one bullet in there. Sometimes a bullet can ricochet on the scalp, so that's why people usually put the muzzle in their mouths. Come on, hold the gun, point just like this, and die. Shit. In the hills of the mountain, a single gunshot echoed. With that gunshot, members of the Bloodhounds rushed in. Okanogi and the other men raised their hands in surrender. Major Tako was with us, but she refused to surrender. She tried shooting at us, so I had to fire a shot to intimidate her, you see.
Retriever 7 to leader. We arrested First Lieutenant Okanogi and 3 other members of the Mountain Dogs. Major Takano is on the run. The footprints are heading southwest, but the bush is too thick and we can't head any further.
Oh no.
Requesting backup. Major Takano is armed. I repeat, Major Takano is armed.
Retriever leader to all units. Major Takano is on the run. She's armed, so be cautious. Patrol the area and force her out.
I'm running through the mountain, covered in dirt, and still holding my muddy scrapbook. I keep falling because of the mud, and branches and tree roots continue to torment me. I lost one of my shoes, so I decided to get rid of the other shoe too. This isn't the first time I've had to run like this. This isn't the first time I've run barefoot. This isn't the first time I've felt such pain on the soles of my feet. This isn't the first time I've cried like this.
Girl needs a spa day. Girl is a mess. I repeat, Major Takano, disarm yourself and surrender. You cannot escape. The Mountain Dogs have surrendered. You have no more allies and never did.
The helicopter above my head is calling out my name. I crawled into a hollow tree. I held my knees and hid. The last time I ran barefoot like this was a very long time ago. My feet are bloody and swollen and I can no longer walk. I can only cry as I bite the corner of my scrapbook. Sadness and humiliation fight for dominance in my heart. When I feel sad, I cry, and when I feel humiliated, I scratch myself to calm my anger. And I still have the gun in my right hand, one with a single bullet in it.
A single bullet?
I have to kill myself. My death is the only thing that can bring it all to an end. Killing myself is the only way to go back to that day. When I look at the scrapbook in my left hand, I'm assaulted by sadness and fear. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Just die. Atone for your actions with your death.
I recalled the look in Okanogi's eyes. I know I've committed sins. There are so many sins.
It's a
Too
lot.
many of them.
It's a lot.
There are more sins than I can possibly atone for. But do I have to die for them? No, I don't want to die. I cried again and then noticed someone standing nearby.
Oh, shit.
It's the girl. The girl whom I met when I came to Hinamizawa. When the Irie Institute was first opened, I met this girl at the shrine when I declared war on God. This girl is the god of this place. The god looked at me and sneered rather than sympathizing.
Are you still trying to take God's place? Do you still deny that you're human?
Long time no see. I lost this game. This is what I get for challenging God, I guess.
Human child, are you still after the position of a god? Are you still willing to endure for the sake of opposing the divine?
No way. Taking a god's place really is impossible.
Human child, listen well. I will show you the way to godhood.
Huh?
With the gun in your right hand, end your life.
Yo, Hanyu, that's not
Jesus,
good.
that's fucked up.
Fuck, Hanyu.
Say no to suicide.
Say
There's
no.
hotlines for that. The position of a god requires no flesh. What the fuck? Don't expect people to recognize your existence. Being a god is lonesome. You, foolish child of man, wanted to become one. Is that still what you desire?
Are you telling me to shoot myself with this? That's it. Something that simple would make me a god. That's so simple. And what is this? What have I been doing all this time?
You shouldered the sins of many others. You purified all of their sins by sacrificing yourself. Your courage will be praised, and you'll be allowed to take a seat among the gods.
What's that? You're telling me to be their scapegoat, to take responsibility for all of them and die? Fuck you. I refuse. I absolutely refuse.
Why don't you want that? To attain peace in the human world, there must always be one sacrifice for one sin. Isn't that the truth of the human world? Isn't that the method of purifying sin? Didn't you want to sacrifice one girl for the future that you desired?
What are you talking about? I don't understand anything you're saying.
You don't because you are human. You don't even know how stupid you were to even want to become a god.
I do. I don't want to die for other people to become a god, no way. I don't want to become a god at all. I'm fine with being human, I just wanted someone to forgive me for being that way. That's all. But, why is this happening?
Then how will you purify this stain? How will you pay the price?
Why does someone have to take the blame? They're all pushing responsibility onto other people. They maneuver this way and that just so they don't have to dirty their own hands. Is that what happens in the human world? No, that's not. Because when my parents and my grandpa were alive, things like that didn't happen. We were all happy. Nobody blamed anyone else. How did I fall out of that world? Why am I wandering around in the mountains alone in the rain? Why? Why me? This is the punishment for my sins, isn't it? I knew it. I noticed it. I made a huge mistake, but I didn't want to admit it. And when it was too late, I regretted it for the first time. So this is the punishment for my sins.
I mean, as far as, look, just on the down low, as far as punishment for hundreds of years of murdering an entire village of people and, you know, dissecting a little 8-year-old girl over and over again, it could be worse.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. The human world will want you to purify your sins. They'll be purified when you sacrifice yourself. That is the way of the human world. However, I am not a human. I am a being above man. A being which fills in the missing gaps in harmony. Oh my god, what a fucking line. A being that forgives human sins. Man cannot forgive the sins of man. I am the one who forgives the sins of man. Oh, anime. I forgive you.
Scene. Fuck.
Demanding a sacrifice be paid for sins isn't the way of the human world, it's the way of demons. So this is not the world of man. This is a world of demons created by man and the demons infesting them. Humans cannot end that way of their world, so I became a god to grant that end. It was over 1,000 years of pain. Let me tell you my backstory. No. Okay. I wanted to come down from this place. I desired a world where God doesn't need to make peace. And finally, after 1,000 years' time, I have found that fragment. Human child, I will forgive your sins in my name. Kneel and repent. Ask for forgiveness. Then you shall receive it. God will forgive you. God will forgive your human sins. The God in human form
walked up to me and reached out. As I knelt and looked down, she touched my head.
Oh my God. And then what? And then what happened?
Scene.
There won't be scene. There is no scene here.
It's God fucking damn.
It's just going to continue until the end.
I want to go eat something.
I'm actually very hungry. I don't know if it came through the mic, but my stomach growled, I think, 3 or 4 times in that last page. I am extremely hungry right now.
Let's go eat some food.
Yeah, we'll be back.
See you all next time.
We'll be back in a bit.